Well, I'm going to start getting ready to go.
All right. Anything you do to prep up? As
I
the
don't
party starts to make
think
their way
so
out the door.
specifically. Oh, don't we have a cart? You guys have a cart? I walk out. Do I see a cart?
You have a
Whenever
cart.
you walk out to the city street with a number of individuals populating the city nearby about their own day-to-day business, but you don't see a cart.
Oh.
We'll have a special cart to detain and transfer. That way we're not walking with prisoners. We can expedite our movement.
They might come willingly, and if they're dead, I could carry them.
No, dead is last resort.
Just saying.
We want justice. We want everything to process, not just kill.
Besides, threatening
bigger
somebody to work isn't exactly the best way to get a guard to do their job correctly.
Yeah, I think we should be able to at least appeal to his commanding point of all his troops. I think we should be able to make him feel responsible. That way he knows everybody will be pulled in if he doesn't.
One must be accountable for their own actions, I suppose. Let us go. Should we take a carriage again? That was fun.
No, I think we should keep this one a little more low-key.
Okay. But if we get a pig, we might need to... Oh, no, I can stick it right back. Never mind. Let's go.
Brad, Riddle, are you coming? Oh, no, never mind.
As with that, the party is off as they begin to make their way.
Who should talk to them? Oh, Brandrith should.
Oh,
she's so
don't
quiet
worry. I've got a spell for that. I have a
I can
thing.
give her a silent... I can make a silent image, Branrin, so we don't feel so lonely if you guys want to travel with us.
I'm all alone.
It's like, sorry, it only does 5 feet. She's like 5'5".
Damn.
It's like half of her head's missing.
Eventually, you guys begin closing around the location that is all the world's meat. As you come in, looking towards the butcher's building, you can see the sign that bears the image of a fat, smiling cow hanging above the entrance to the shop, where a small queue of citizens are lining up by the front door. Beside them is a marble-top table displaying cuts of meats behind a wide, grimy window, and several flies are circling the air above the meat.
Oh, it's just sad to take all these people's food away, They're all
Looking towards the building, the right side of it looks to have been expanded out with a stockade of vertical logs, no visible roof between that portion, over that portion. And also on the right side of the building runs an alleyway that runs the length of this city block, and peeking through, as well as your own party members pointing out, there look to be a pair of double doors towards the back in this alleyway, effectively like a loading dock kind of a situation. There also looks to be a bit of a second story to this building, judging by the smaller walls and windows sitting just above the ground floor. So kind of like a ground floor, and then the second floor is much smaller. And that's effectively what you guys see as you are approaching all the world's meat.
So I'll just take a quick chance and say, who's the best with people around here? Between us.
I've got a charisma of 9.
I'm great with dead people.
Shit.
Jonic, what's your charisma?
I got a +1. Hang on.
You win.
You win.
Well, are you asking him what his charisma score is, or how charismatic this guy is?
How charismatic he is.
How well he is with people.
13. I've got.
Is anybody trained in persuasion?
He
Intimidation
took me enough
+3.
in the carriage today. I'd say that wins.
Yeah, that's me too.
Persuasion 1.
Yeah. All right.
Bickerstaff will do the talking then. No, let's just go in. Bickerstaff's going to
God, not another kitchen episode.
we're gonna.
No, this
we're
is a
gonna,
butcher shop.
We're not gonna do this politely. I think.
No.
So Bickerstaff's not gonna stand in line. He's not gonna queue up. He's just gonna go to the front of the line. He's gonna say, "Excuse me, I'm going in." He's just gonna kind of push his way in.
All right, so Bickerstaff is pushing his way to the front of the line. A number of the individuals that look to have been here waiting are clearly getting upset and starting to cry out, "Hey, the line's back here! We've been here all morning!" And Bickerstaff...
We should just wait in line, you know? These people, they should get their food first.
Bickerstaff
We get it at
figures
the
that
end of
John
the day.
can.
Phelan...
Bickerstaff's gonna let Jonic handle that, and he's just gonna keep going.
I was going to say, Phelan, Yannick, and Zephyr, as Bickerstaff is pushing his way through the front door, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. He's old. You just have to excuse him. The brain's going away, you know? It's just, I'm like kind of like going behind him, like apologizing to every single person in the line behind him. He's
Yeah,
really cool. He didn't even see you guys, you know? It happens all the time.
I'm gonna hold up my receipt from the last time and say, "Oh, I'm just here to pick up some meat," and I'm just gonna walk with him,
All right.
even though the receipt's not valid.
How big is this place?
Not very big.
Well,
Like a
I'll go
blockbuster.
ahead and bring you guys over to a map.
Oh, good. But I'm assuming it's like a little shack, so that's my head.
Little shanty.
And first question, Amanda, can you see the left half of the building? Because that was where Bryn flew over, so you should have an idea of what that looks like on the map.
Oh, no. I can
Nope.
see, like, the street, but that's it.
1 second.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick before we start all this.
Okay, I can see that. The moo-moos. Ah, now I can. That's awesome. I love that.
Okay.
That's so cool. Moo-moo cows.
Go ahead.
I mean, maybe one of us should be around the side in case they try to run, you know? I could go around back.
Can you
It's
stop
just an
them?
option.
Is there a back door?
There's a back alley, I believe, right?
You guys
Just kinda
passed
look
one
back
on your
out.
way here.
Yannick
Actively
will go
around
around
here.
back.
All right. Yannick makes his way around the side of the building.
I'm gonna go with Yannick. I don't wanna like take all these people's food away and be a terrible person. So yeah, I'm going with Yannick.
All right. So Phelan and Yannick begin circling around the side of the building. As Bickerstaff is pushing his way to the front of the line, Zephyr right behind him. And while he is BRBing,
Okay, I'm back.
Phelan and Yannick effectively you get to the alleyway, and it is lined by buildings on the left and the right, and a very narrow passageway cuts through them.
Bryn went this way before. I believe that if we keep going around, that we'll find the alleyway to the back of the butcher shop.
About 60 feet down the alley,
I would have to say it's at least 80 feet down the alley.
at least.
She's terrible with numbers.
Alright,
This is Phelan judging, okay, guys? She doesn't
And
know
that's what I'm
exactly.
saying. She failed wizarding school because she
Wait, are you
couldn't.
guys not coming in with us?
No,
Well, we're
they're going
the
around
alley.
back.
There we go.
Try to run for it.
Wait, that was a horrible idea. Why are you doing
Bickerstaff is
that?
pushing his way through
You're
the
already
front
in.
door at this point in time.
I don't like to confront people. I made an excuse not to.
Guys, why? Guys, my whole thing was that this was like guard.
You're a guard. It's okay.
No, I'm not. Jonic is. He's the one wearing the
Bickerstaff,
fucking
Bickerstaff,
you
uniform.
are pushing your way through the front door of this
Oh,
building,
damn it,
feeling the
guys.
full support of your party as another pair of hands is helping to push you forward a bit. And you enter the front room of this shop.
Well, I don't want to go in now, because, like, I needed a
You were-
tonic. Whatever.
We could do
okay.
this.
Get to
We can
the
do
front of the
Go in.
line, making a big commotion, judging by the crowd behind you as you get to the front door, looking back over your shoulder for the first time, realizing half your party is out.
Yeah, great. Okay. Jesus.
Mental talk.
No, I can't see you guys. You guys left. You split the party for some reason. I don't know why. Okay.
So you have to be in line of sight to use that?
Yes, I have to be able to see you.
I did not know that.
Bickerstaff will walk in, and is it the same two guys?
Same two guys, yep.
What was this guy's name again?
That was Mulder.
Bickerstaff will walk in. Is there a customer in here right now?
There is a customer in here right now. He looks to be in the process of having a bit of a conversation with the man behind the counter. The wraps of meat already sitting in front of him. As you push your way to the front, a couple of cries from behind you ring into the room. Hey, you can't cut! As you push in, with the little chime of the bell above the top of the door, everybody in the room kind of turns to meet your gaze as you're striding in.
Bickerstaff will just kind of walk up to the counter. He'll put his hand on the counter, and he'll just kind of look at Mulder, and he'll say, Mulder, good to see you again. I'm here to speak to Varric, and I do not mean you any harm.
All right, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to step out, and you can wait your turn at the back of the line. I don't know what sort of businesses you're used to running, but here we don't deal with any sort of ruckus like this. You're going to have to leave.
I walk in right behind Bickerstaff and say, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. He was just trying to get us in because I
Zephyr,
have my ticket."
Push in with this excuse. The individual that's been more of a relaxed fit, kind of arms crossed, leaning up against the wall, leans up from the wall, and his hand starts to droop by his sides. Says, "All right, folks, we have a process for a reason. If you're going to keep on barging in here, we're going to have to shut the doors for the day."
I hold my ticket out.
Bickerstaff's going to motion to, crap, starts with M.
Maldrago.
Mulder. He's just going to kind of, thank you. He's just going to kind of lean in close to him. He's going to say, I'm here on orders from Field Marshal Creed, and I did not want to make a scene. I simply want to talk to Varric.
You say you didn't want to make a scene, and yet you cut through half of our line, barging right in here, demanding to speak with Varric. You can wait your turn like everyone else if you don't want to make a scene.
Very well. Have it your way. Come, Zephyr.
As you guys step out from the room, walk back
that was
around.
going to work a lot better if Jonik was there, but,
I don't think so. They're going to be
Is
hostile.
Bickerstaff saying this out loud?
no.
So meanwhile, Yannick and Phelan is proceeding to try and lead you further down the alley as Yannick spots the doors obviously placed to the building on his own left.
I just want to get a good view down this way. It's not doing that.
Effectively, that's a building.
Oh, okay. I
Fine.
thought it was an alleyway because the road. Okay. Well, doesn't
Yannick
sound like as
will
much of a
post up
commotion
here,
going on.
and Phelan, go look around the corner to make sure all hell didn't break loose.
The north corner? Like this way? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Shh, don't wake up. She will poke her head around the corner and see what's happening.
Phelan, as you are poking your head around the corner, you can see Bickerstaff and Zephyr exiting from the front door, starting to circle around to the right.
I'm going to wave and kind of whistle like, hey, we're in this alleyway. There's not one that side, I don't think.
I'm sure Bickerstaff and I are having a conversation mentally this whole time that we're walking out.
So effectively, that's a question for you guys. Do you see Phelan?
Nope.
I do. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. I bite the person in line! No.
Attack!
I was trying to click
sorry,
condense.
I
Stupid.
just didn't want to confront them. They seem like nice people. But they didn't
So-
escape out of the back, so that's good news.
So Zephyr,
And
you
I
spot
just kinda-
Phelan peeking around the corner and waving.
I nod at her and wave. I turn to Bickerstaff and thinking, like I said, I'm pretty sure we were talking, trying to figure things out while we were walking out.
Sure.
I don't think
Tried
this
my
is going to
best
go easy.
mitigate.
Not when we don't have the guard with us, no.
No, but we have on authority. Oh, I think we're just going to have to go
We
in.
have no authority.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. We don't have a symbol of any authority.
Or, no, but I think we're just going to have to get in there. They're just going to make it. He's going to get away.
Yeah, he is.
I'm still at the back door.
Should I go in as a squirrel and try to find him?
No, that's a waste.
I guess we just
We've
wait
lost
for the
the
line.
Surprise, we just needed. Hope we're lucky.
I mean,
Oh,
I can
there's
get up
Balin.
there.
Roughly 10, 15 minutes have gone by since Bickerstaff and Zephyr have exited the building. Phelan, you got the wave from Zephyr.
Okay. Sorry, I'll be
And
right
okay. Yannick, you see Phelan continuing to peek her head over around the corner, watching something, but not giving no response back towards you about what's happening.
Cool, everything's going great. Making sure nobody comes out.
All right. So Bickerstaff and Zephyr, eventually the line starts to dwindle down to the last two people between you and the front door. And eventually the two walk in together, leaving the pair of you open access to the front doors of the butchery as the only ones left in the line.
Well, wait for those two to exit.
And eventually they walk out. The
We will-
dual chimes to the doors. As you step in, the chimes ring once again.
Yep. Right behind Bicker.
And as you step in this time, you can see most of the meats that were on display look to have been sold off. What is left look to be mere scraps at best. And the two kind of almost impatiently watching you walk in this time with a significantly less friendly look than the first time you encountered them. All
Bickerstaff
right.
was similarly less friendly. He doesn't really want to do this.
You don't want to play bad cop?
No. Actually, this is too lawful cop for him.
Now, I believe we can have a conversation.
Yes,
What business have you with Varric?
I told you.
You're here on behalf of the field marshal. What business has she with him? He is no longer in her employ.
That is her business with him.
And it's no business as I see it.
Well,
You
that
can
will
tell
be
her I
fair.
said the same.
That's great, but that'll be up to Varric to decide.
Very well. Then feel free to wait for him at his residence, his abode. Sure he'll be along shortly.
Do you think that would be something that he would want to just be ambushed outside of his home? I figured this would
my
be a
business as much as it is his.
I don't suppose he would be uncomfortable with me doing that. I do suppose, actually.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Well, I
Without a
suppose
doubt.
that's an issue for him then, isn't it?
Where does he live?
Yana gets really nervous about the time spent. Waves at Phelan to come switch out with him.
I will do so.
She moves rapidly.
Yana makes his
Bickerstaff,
way through the door.
the voice from behind you picks up. Mulder, you're being quite insensitive. After all, this one did promise us a potential partnership with her own food cart. We could use the business. No use being an asshole about all this.
I do want to stress to you how much I don't necessarily agree with the Field Marshal on her stance here, but I do want to tell you that I understand how you feel, and I do think it is commendable the way you feed the poor and needy. But there's a process to things, and so that is what I wish to discuss with Varric.
And he kind of looks beyond you, Bickerstaff, and Zephyr, you can see the guy on your left give him a nod before Mulder turns around on his feet. And he pushes open the door behind him and he says, "All right then, old man, come with me." And he pushes open the door, revealing a hallway beyond. It's a number of exits to this hallway. The north door that you are now stepping through, a door to the east that he is now presently at. Looking down to the south, there are a pair of double doors at the end of the hallway, and he effectively goes around the way and starts to ascend a flight of stairs. And he gets to about there when he turns and reaches towards a hammer around his belt, and he spins towards Bickerstaff. Bickerstaff, if I can have you roll initiative for me, please.
Sure.
Can I hear something?
That's something we'll find out for you later.
Yeah.
Do I get the benefits from my own avatar of battle?
Go ahead and click the ability real quick, and we'll see the wording of it.
Does each ally within 30 feet of me? Isn't that the
I
same
would assume
wording that's
so.
on
That's like the
paladin
paladins.
ability?
The paladins get their own aura.
Okay.
I don't know. Bickerstaff, are you feeling particularly hostile with yourself today?
I mean, I'm feeling martially ready because I practiced a lot this
Oh,
morning.
he's
I'd
juiced.
say you get that bonus to your initiative. You are feeling that boost of it.
He's juiced, man. He's juiced and ready to
Not
go.
only have you got your own array of skills at the ready, but now, you're kind of starting to pick up the hang of this short sword you got at your side. You got that
How
little
do I
bit of
add that
confidence boost.
Add what?
+2.
Sometimes it's on the gear wheel, the
Oh,
character sheets, where you can do additional modifiers.
Where is initiative?
Can Yannick move past Zephyr?
Not presently, no. Effectively, Yannick, at this point in time, you were starting to peek around the corner and then sprinted towards the front door after not catching sight of your allies. And then looking through the doorway where Zephyr was standing, you could see Bickerstaff being led into the back room.
We got the same initiative.
What is your next modifier? +2?
Mine's +2.
Gonna be a roll-off, sir. Ooh. How about a 4 on the die?
Oh no!
Oh my
Are we
God.
adding
Jeez,
it? Or no?
I'm rolling great tonight, man. I love my odds in this fight.
All
You are
right.
so not Gorneo.
Oh no, Bickerstaff does not make rolls, man. Like Bickerstaff, like half of his whole
Saves.
build is the fact that I don't make rolls. If you haven't noticed, I don't make a lot of them.
All right, so he's spinning around on these stairs and taking a swing at you.
Okay, two
And his-
questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I do have my Ironhide up, but I would assume I don't have my shield out, right? So I would say
Probably.
my
Yeah.
yeah. So I will say my AC is 17.
All right. Even with that 17, as he turns back using the full force of spinning on the back of his heel as well as his downward angle, he gets a full body swing into this as it slams directly into the wall beside you with a natural 1. And Zephyr and Yannick both just see the wall effectively here explode outwards.
Oh, that was one hell of a
As the
hit.
camera is drawn back around and effectively giving you guys line of sight if you can see through that.
I can see the corner of his. Of
You
someone's
guys would be
token.
able to see me at that point, right? At least.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of you.
Yeah, I can't see you guys, so I don't
Bickerstaff. What? And he turns and shouts up the stairs, Varric, we're under siege!
Shit.
And effectively, that's his turn. Bickerstaff.
Can I get
Do
in
I
this?
hear him yell that?
Bickerstaff will yell out, "I just want to talk! This one assaulted me! This is bullshit!" As he pulls out his shield.
Yes.
He's going to pull out his shield and take dodge action. And that's it.
Dodge action.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna end
Effectively, Yannick and Zephyr both feel free to roll into initiative. Phelan, roll me a perception check.
this. Yes.
I'm half perceptive. I'm really looking at the cows too, so you know, there's that.
Oh, you know how you are with bovine.
I know I rolled a 0, but damn.
He really didn't like your proposition.
I know, man. No, he just really didn't believe that I wasn't here to not, like, be violent.
Yeah.
Which is fair, I guess. He rolled a 0.
When you roll a 0.
I mean, I'm not that upset. I get it. I rolled a 0. I rolled a fucking 0. I can't believe I rolled a 0.
Yeah, that's so awful.
Wow,
You're
mine was
so bad at
so
persuasion.
I'm sitting at 5.
I told you. I mean, like,
You got a 5.
I'm not persuasive. I sound like a senile old man, guys.
So, Phelan, unfortunately, you did not hear that.
The
being
cows were
shouted.
moving at the same time. It happens.
I mean, it's been a little while, and you're still waiting for Yannick to tell you back, like, what the plan's going to be or something. You kind of
Okay.
weren't really paying attention when they were talking about what the plan was.
Are either of you within 30 feet of me? Zephyr and Jonic?
No.
Zephyr, I believe, is.
If
No,
Zephyr's
just
within
out.
30
No,
feet,
Zephyr's
you get
not.
+2 to your initiative, yo.
No,
Avatar
Zephyr-
battle.
I'm 35.
Just out of that
35.
feet.
Ted, if you click on the 0 on the initiative tracker, you can type in your initiative.
Got it. Let's see.
Guys, I rolled above a 12. I'm so happy. All right, what was the gold per guy if we killed him? Look at that written down somewhere.
It was much lower. We don't want to kill them. Incapacitate
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it was like 25 gold.
Yeah,
apiece.
I give that advice, and then I have an attack that can't do that, so...
Zephyr,
Yes.
you're up. Seeing
Alright.
the wall explode beside Bickerstaff, what do you do?
You need to switch Mulder and I.
Oh yeah, Mulder goes ahead bigger. I look at Baldrago and I see if he takes like a ready stance.
Just surveying him?
just at a glance, does he seem like he's like, oh, I'm ready?
His hand is in the process of pulling his hammer out.
Okay. I'm going to.
It's like a warhammer.
These are like sledgehammers.
Holy shit! All right, so I'm going to jump on this table real quick.
I think that's equivalent to a warhammer. Yeah.
I'm going to jump on this table, and then I'm going to cast heat metal on his armor.
Oh,
He should be wearing chainmail armor, right?
He is wearing chainmail underneath that leather apron.
All right, so I'm going to roll the damage on this, but I'll click it for the sake of the chat here. Spell level, second to level. So
Con
it's a
save
DC 13.
is going to be a total of 15.
Shit! All right. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens?
I
Not
don't
even
think
half damage?
so. No, I don't think so.
Is
All right.
Level spell? Second level
What-
spell? You sure?
it-
It doesn't do half
level.
damage?
I don't think so. Doesn't look like it.
Oh, it's because you can cause it again. It doesn't end the spell. He just doesn't
Right.
take the damage. So you can keep subsequently using it. So
Until
that's
the
why
spell
it
ends,
doesn't
you can
do
use
the
it.
half.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because
So
you can continue using it. So you're good. His armor's still hot.
Yeah, his armor's still... Effectively, he's not in the
oh,
process
it's
of trying
okay.
to
So
drop
we're gonna
his
say
armor.
that it's heating up, and it's not
Right,
quite.
it's heating up. Right.
So next
You're
turn,
doing the
I can.
you're doing the put the frog in the water, then slowly turn up the temperature instead of just throwing him in.
Yeah.
You're bringing
and,
this gentleman to a boil.
and then
Habit from cooking.
yeah. And then what I'll do is I will turn into my raptor
All right.
as a bonus action.
You can maintain concentration. That's badass.
I can maintain concentration while in wild shape form. Yes, I just can't cast it.
Dionychus, not the rabbit.
Dionychus.
Boom.
And I'll roll those hit dice while it's someone else's turn.
All right. So, Mulder is going to crack his hammer out from some of the wood planks, just kind of splintering and leaving a portion of the stair rails to just fall beside you, Victor Staff, as he rears back for attempting another hit in your direction.
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage. Thank you. Dropping the 23 for a swing down to a total of 12 to hit, as it comes arcing downwards and just hesitates for a brief moment mid-swing and is thrown to the side. He looks up at you with a bit of a nervous look on his eyes before shouting out, "They've got at least one mage!"
He said that about
Staff.
me?
That's what he said.
The guy holding a sword and shield.
That's what he said.
And wearing a breastplate. He calls
Yeah,
me a mage.
He's a
You also
battle
shouted
mage.
out twice about if so-and-so is within 30 feet, you get a bonus to this and that.
Oh, come on.
This is their equivalent.
Bickerstaff will take the dodge action again. And,
All right.
And he will once again shout out, what's Varric's full name? It's Varric Van Casterkin.
Van Castervin.
Van Castervin. He'll shout out as loud as he can, Varric Van Castervin, I came here to speak with you, not to be to come to blows. And he will continue with his dodge action and his shield and everything.
All right.
Nice.
Baldrago, the gentleman in the room with you, Zephyr, is going to, moving forward, sprint as far as he can down this hallway, getting to right here. And in the process of running down this hallway, he's taking his hammer out and he's taking a swing at Bickerstaff as he is just running by you.
Bad mood, my
At
man.
disadvantage.
At disadvantage. Disadvantage.
Definitely.
Dropping another 23 down to a total of 10 to hit.
Oh, Bicker's
As
like,
it swings
I'm a
forward
reed.
and just barely misses you with its full force, but scrapes off of the armor that you are wearing. Yannick.
All right. So I can't see. To save some movement, can I? Is that a counter?
It is.
Yes.
In the middle of the room. Can I vault over it to save steps and
With
get down the
successful
walls forward?
athletics or acrobatics check, absolutely.
Ooh.
Bad boys.
Oh yes, dude. Oh, you got to do this like Dukes of Hazzard slide.
Exactly. That's totally what I was thinking. All right, so.
Good sliding like Bo do.
I was just thinking that.
20 total.
20 total.
Nice.
Go ahead and highlight your route. As Yannick comes charging in, leaps over the countertop, palming it with one hand, throwing himself over, longbow drawn in the process. As he
Okay.
lands solid with his feet, his other hand's already in the process of drawing an arrow.
Presumably.
Presumably. Potentially. He's in the process of surveying
Save
his environment.
10, 15, 20. I think it puts me here or here. Like here?
Tell you 30
Pretty good.
feet. So you were starting here?
Yep.
All right. So 5, 10, 20, 25, 30 feet gets you to right there.
Okay. And
30 or
then I will-
35?
35.
35.
35. So that can
Did you
get you
say-
right here if you would like.
I still can't see. Like, you said this wall is supposed to be gone, right?
This wall here, effectively.
It still isn't giving me line of sight through there. Anyways.
It's effectively the line between Mulder and Yannick.
Yeah,
You can't
that
see
it's
Yannick.
still not giving me line of sight.
There's
through
still
there.
the portion that is now to Yannick's left. There's still that wall there.
It's not that big a deal. I just
Okay.
yeah, it's not gonna affect it much.
Yannick, charging down this hallway, you look up where this portion of the wall has just been blasted through. And you can see a man up there raising his hammer, attempting another strike towards Bickerstaff, as the guy that you are chasing down this hallway turns around and smashes his hammer across his Bickerstaff's armor as he is charging through this hallway. One guy slightly up a couple of feet on the stairs that he has started to ascend, the other directly in front of you.
Alright, the one directly in front of me, I will ensnaring strike.
Ooh.
All right.
Let's see here.
Uh,
Is this automatic or do I have to roll to hit? Because I can't tell by reading this.
Do you have the ability on your character sheet?
Ensnaring
No.
Strike is a spell, correct?
I think it's one of those bonus action spells that on your next attack it does something.
I believe that's how
Sounds
that one works.
Yeah, it's a bonus action. And
So you bonus action and you
will
prepare
last
it
up
on the
to a
arrow,
minute.
and you have to shoot the arrow and hit, and then the
So
spell takes effect.
effectively, you fill your arrow with this charge, and then on your next attack
It
that you
releases.
make, the spell releases. And then they have to make a strength
save.
save, I believe it is.
Maybe.
Dex save, or else be restrained. Strength save.
A
not
save.
dex.
Ah, well,
Fire when ready.
I will just take a
But I
regular shot. then.
believe your shot will be at disadvantage because you are within melee range of Mulder.
Oh. You can. Oh, I was gonna say you could stab him.
You don't hear shit.
Mhm. I'll just take a regular shot forward, so that's at disadvantage.
Yes.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Or you could shoot it before you come through the door. not get disadvantage, but you know.
He wouldn't know the guy was standing on the stairs, though.
Yeah, he can
We
see him.
can assume that effectively, because the DM said he had that arrow drawn.
Oh,
Yeah, you did.
You did
That's true.
technically, descriptively have it ready to fire
I'm
here.
like, he could kind of
If
just
you'll
release
take a
that
look
as soon as he comes
here
through that
without
doorway.
I like this DM. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy, this DM.
Regular
You
shot.
know.
Yannick, shoot away.
So the shot is not at disadvantage. You're doing this as you set it up.
Guns a-blazing. Here we go.
It sounds so cool. I like it.
And sometimes it's great when the DM has no
I'm
idea
off
what he's
to my
talking
hero.
about.
Good karma helps out the DM. I got 9 total.
9 total. As the arrow launches forward, it sinks into this heating metal that this individual is wearing. So it's no damage if he made his save, right? First round, but
that turn, he's going to have to make it again if I choose to try to...
As a bonus action.
As a bonus
can do
action.
the damage again.
And is that concentration?
It is. For
Okay,
1
good.
minute.
Purple. For him, this is going to be a little over dramatic, but I hope you guys realize
He's on...
if it oh, it's not doing the effects again, so don't worry about it. He is effectively heating up. Yannick, anything else you would like to do this round?
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
You done, Yannick?
Sorry, I had to mute. So I still have my bonus action. I will Hunter's Mark.
No, you used your spell for your bonus.
Nothing.
I didn't. I used a regular shot.
Oh, sorry.
Hunter's marking the guy to Bickerstaff's north or the one you just shot?
The one that just shot.
All right. So he is
Ooh.
Hunter's mark.
Dude, this guy's getting all kind of things on him.
Zephyr.
All right, I'm going to use a bonus action to make him make his save again.
All
Con
right.
save, DC 13.
That is going to be a total of 16.
Damn it. All right.
16.
Oh, gotta love that spell save DC for level 3. All right.
They're also fighters that have like a high constitution. What are you gonna do?
Well, you know, he's wearing metal armor. I figured it would work. All right. So, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to come up right up on him, and I'm going to give him the old 1, 2, 3.
All right. You launch your way forward.
Non-lethally? Not lethally?
Oh, yeah,
Claw.
of course.
Claw! Bite!
Yep.
Gash!
So we'll bite first. Let's see, that's a +4 to hit, so that's 11. I'm sure that one doesn't hit.
7 is not going to do it. As you leap forward, jaws first clamping around the iron rings that composes his chainmail.
All right, and a claw. That's not going to hit.
Your teeth locked in. You start just scraping across the metal underneath this guy's apron, tearing it, the leather of his apron to shreds.
And 17.
17 will hit.
All right, he has to make a DC 12 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
All right. That is going to be a 20 total.
God damn, son of a bitch shit. 8 points of slashing damage.
8 slashing. Nice. As you just tear a wound open across his form as he leaves his arm exposed for a brief moment too long in his struggle to bite you off of him.
That's it.
As the double doors to the south are going to burst open
Ah, shit.
as
The butcher comes out.
a butcher steps into the doorway, revealing himself as he does so. Checking, yeah. He continues to step forward to right here, and he begins to draw his hammer out. Mulder is then going to take another strike towards Bickerstaff.
With
And-
disadvantage.
With disadvantage. making the 10 instead a 6 to hit.
That's a nope.
As it once again woofs through the air, missing you entirely. And it would have probably gone through that wall again had he not already destroyed it. Bickerstaff.
Once again, Bickerstaff's gonna just shout out, "All of you need to knock it off! We came here to talk!" And he's gonna keep using the dodge action.
All right.
Stubborn old man.
Yeah, god damn it. Why did you have to move into that space? Now I'm gonna get flanked. Yeah, I guess that spot's as good as any.
All right. Have you got a hold of them or do you need help? Comes from the echoing the next room. As the voice echoes from down the stairs. What the hell is going on down there?
That's the voice I want to talk to.
As Baldrago arcs his hammer downwards, aiming towards this little raptor in front of him, with a total of 13 to hit.
That misses.
Misses as it smashes into the groundwork beside you.
Thankfully.
As another gentleman makes his presence known as he pushes open the second of the double doors.
Shit, 2 fat butchers.
And he turns the other direction and starts to sprint.
Wait, he just opened the door and then he's like, nope, I'm out?
Yannick.
Alrighty. Having Hunter's mark on, I will hit or shoot at Drago again.
Gonna be at disadvantage.
9 or 8.
9.
You launch the arrow. It just goes wide, unintentionally arcing to avoid it making impact into Zephyr's back as she's just like struggling in melee against this butcher of a man.
And Horde Breaker, I can shoot at the other dude.
Yes, you can.
Oh.
Stop it. Stop the violence.
Put an arrow
You're
in
not
his knee.
helping the words I'm shouting, guys.
So
Well,
16.
16 is going to hit exactly.
Nice.
Alright.
As a second twinned arrow zooms down the hallway, sinking into this guy's chest. He lets out an audible grunt of pain.
That'd be damage of 1d8 plus 3. Six, and the Hunter's Mark only works on the one that's
Only on
Hunter's
the guy
marked.
that is Hunter's Mark, yes.
Got it.
So 6 total?
Yep.
All right. The arrow sinks into him as he lets out a groan of pain. Zephyr.
All right, so I was just rereading the spell. Just
Yep.
they automatically take the damage, and the Constitution saving throw is for dropping whatever they're holding.
Okay. Good to know. So you can start rolling that damage this
so it's
round.
2 rounds wasted, but that's okay. So I'm
All
gonna
right.
do a bonus action to make him take the fire damage.
As
That's,
Zephyr activates her cold fire.
8 points of
8
laser
points of
fire.
fire damage. As the
And,
armor across his form begins to melt his flesh as he
And
wears it.
I will be doing non-vital slashes and bites, so I'm just going for weakening,
All right.
just so that's clear. And I will do
All
the
right.
old 1, 2, 3.
1 to 3.
1, 2, 3. 17 on the bite
That's going to hit.
for 10 points of piercing damage.
Nice. He did not like that.
That's more than the last one. That's
That'll hit.
21 for a good old claw attack. That's 8 points of claw
8
damage.
points.
And one more claw if
Continue to
he's
rip
not
and
on the
tear
ground.
into him.
Oh, yes. Oh, so close. That's a 23
That's gonna hit.
For another 10 points of slashing damage.
As your second claw attack reaches up and tears a wound across his chest, and he's forced to hold it as he drops his weapon and collapses to the ground in a panic. Effectively.
Yeah. As soon as I see him collapse and he's not fighting, I'm ending the concentration.
All right.
Well, actually, I can leave it on. I'm going to leave it on. I just don't have to enact
that's right, because you could...
So I'm just going to let him toast. I'm going to, saute or braise. I'm braising the meat, as it were.
That's right, because you don't have to use the bonus action.
I have to use a bonus action in order to do the damage. So
second level spells, all right, man.
It says any creature in physical contact with the object takes the damage when you cast it.
Yeah, but doesn't have to use this bonus action to do it?
Right. And then the second part is I can keep doing.
I guess, yeah.
That's why it's really good against armor wearers, because basically they're stuck in their armor and they can't get rid of it.
So Zephyr, Baldrago goes down.
Oh, perfect. I'm going to take this opportunity to step behind Bickerstaff and kind of hiss at the butcher.
All right. As you do so, seeing this entity having just ripped his friend to shreds, Carlo is going to pull back his own hammer from his belt and take a swoop down at this serpentoid in front of him with a 17 to hit.
Ah, shit, that hits.
This hammer is going to come crashing down upon you, dealing 10 points of bludgeoning damage as it smashes across your side.
All right, you got to make that save. It's what, plus con, right?
Yeah. Constitution.
Yes, sir.
Nailed it. Oh, just close. I got an 11.
Just nailing it. As Mulder arcs forward and attempts to slam down towards Bickerstaff with his own hammer at disadvantage, dropping the natural 20 down to a 19 to hit.
I will use one side point to make him miss.
All right.
Bickerstaff's like, nope.
Throwing his hammer to the side as it smashes into the wall beside him. And he shouts out, "They also got a druid and a ranger." Bickerstaff, you're up.
He didn't see me transform. Bullshit.
He will call out once again, "Varric Van Casterman, I do not want to butcher your men. Come down and have words with me." And I will use the dodge action again.
I love Bickerstaff. Right. This he's like, I'm sticking to this.
I mean, it's the truth. I don't want to butcher his guys.
I don't either. They were doing good work.
You guys shooting them isn't helping.
I'm not shooting anybody.
You see a figure silhouette the top of the stairs as a gentleman with his longbow drawn stands up towards the top of the stairs as he starts to step his way closer to see what the heck is going on down here. Judging from the description of this gentleman with his brunette hair cut to an almost crop top length, he seems to noticeably fit the description of Varric Van Casterman, in addition to the lieutenant's ranks he wears on his chest. And he looks down the way. "Mulder, Carlo, what the hell's going on here? Who are these people?"
Is he in Yannick's line of sight?
He's probably not. No, he's just up the stairway behind you.
Phelan, the doors in front of where you are standing at the ready burst open. The gentleman comes sprinting in your direction, shouting out that it's a raid. The guard are here.
Oh.
It's the right about there.
What do you do?
Can I go?
I would assume so.
Okay, I want to cast this on him and blind him.
All right.
Oh. Khan hasn't been very good to us.
He starts screaming out in agony that the gods have stolen his eyes.
Just wait, I can help you.
As you're shouting that out, he says, "Wizard at the back door!"
Oh, shit. I'm gonna like hold these doors closed.
Feel free to roll into initiative, Phelan. Yannick.
Okay, since we're trying to be good guys, and he finally catches Bickerstaff's drift, instead of shooting, he will shift his hunter's mark to the other butcher, and then sprint forward and try to tackle him.
All right.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll me an opposed athletics check, please.
Interesting. I like the move.
Well,
As Yannick comes sprinting forward.
it's +4. Oh my God.
Natural
6.
point? Oh.
6
We're
total.
rolling great tonight, man. Woo.
Man,
Me and Ted, man, right there.
6
Awesome.
total.
6 total.
All right. You come
This little elf
charging
bounced off the
forward,
big
arm at the
butcher.
ready to just clothesline this guy as you just knock him over, and he stands firm and arcs his own shoulder into your gut. And for half a second, you nearly double over in the pain yourself. He narrowly beats it with a 10.
All right. So I basically moved 10,
15 feet.
15.
You
All
can
right,
go
I would
around it.
disengage and move back. Do I lose my hunter's
So-
mark if I disengage?
You don't have
Not
disengage.
if you disengage, but you used your action effectively to try and grapple this guy. So
But
you
I don't
don't
have the
have
rest
the
of my
action to
movement?
disengage. You still
You
have
can
the
get
rest of
around
your
the other side
movement,
of him.
but you don't have another action to disengage.
He'll get a swipe at you
He's
if you
gonna
leave.
swing at me.
But he can still swing at you.
All right, I'll hold my ground.
All right. And Phelan, effectively, this is when you just blinded an individual that came sprinting out from the back. Zephyr.
Oh God, I love that. That's so great. I'm not trying to hurt
All
you.
right. Butcher, is he still looking like he's getting ready to attack?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do it, you motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I just encouraged him with that weakness shit.
All right. What I will do is, oh, well, she's kind of feral right now. I'm gonna go for the attack. I'm gonna bite him.
Ugh. He's watching
Ooh.
you.
23,
That's going to hit.
and that is 5 points of damage.
All right.
2 claws. Oh, both 16, so 20 total. For both.
That's going to hit.
Of course, this is all non-vital strikes. That's 11. That's 15 points of slashing damage.
15 points of slashing damage. He is looking rough as you tear open a series of gashes into his armor as your claws just start digging around some of the openings you're starting to find in these guards' uniform.
And
Anything else you would like to do?
That's it for me.
All right. Zephyr, as your turn is ending, Bickerstaff, you watch the individual up towards the top loose his arrow as both of his arrows come flying down the staircase. Zephyr, this is going to be a 12 or a 24 to hit.
24 hits.
24 hits. It is going to be 17 points of piercing damage to you
Okay.
as an arrow sinks into the back of your raptor form. As
I lose
the individual
concentration.
that, okay, the cold metal grows considerably colder. As the individual that you just struck out at raises his own hammer to strike back down at you. And that is going to be a 19 to hit
That hits.
as it comes smashing downwards with a 13 points of bludgeoning damage to you.
Okay. I drop form.
As Zephyr reappears within that space. And Bickerstaff, the individual above the stairs to you, halts in his swing. But you are up, sir.
Okay. My God. Bickerstaff is going to, when he sees him halt, he's going to immediately lean down, put his hand behind him, touch his buddy that's laying on the ground, and he's going to heal him.
Touching this guy? Or touching your buddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that's down.
Okay.
And just with 1 point of mend wounds, so he gets 2 HP.
All right.
And Bickerstaff will yell at everybody, "Enough!" And that's all I can do.
It was self-defense.
All right.
As he stands back up and like kind of keeps his shield up towards like the guy in front of him.
All right. You hear the audible squealing of a pig from the room beyond.
The guy tripped over a pig, didn't he?
Groaning and roaring and shouting and squealing as another individual holding this boar, like this 2-3 foot long boar that's almost as wide as he is, steps into the doorway, looking up in the direction of the hallway. What the hell is going on here?
That's my pig.
This guy understands.
That's my
As
pig.
Varric draws another pair of arrows and pulls them back. And he says, state your name and your business here.
Do I get to respond?
Effectively, he's holding his action.
Cool.
As Harms is now blinded, going to continue trying to charge his way forward.
Oh, God.
And
D8 for direction.
now he's continuing to sprint in the direction he was headed.
Phelan just sticks out her foot and trips him.
And Phelan, effectively, he's going to try and sprint out through these doors into the alleyway, which would be out of your melee radius.
Can I try and close hanger him with my quarterstaff?
Oh, bam!
And absolutely try to do so.
Okay.
And you're going to do that with advantage because he's blind and is not seeing this coming.
Yes.
I don't know what the difference is.
With your stick, right? But like, pop. Get down.
Hey!
Boom. 19.
As you pop him across the face, his nose audibly snaps and breaks inward as a spurt
I'm
of
sorry.
blood just
I didn't
coats
want
his
this.
upper lip like a mustache, and he smashes into the ground underneath him.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to stop you.
Phelan badass.
I'm not here to hurt you.
I'm not here to.
Sorry
That's why
about
I
your
went
nose.
to the back door. I was hoping no one would come over here. I promise.
You totally didn't see the wall you just hit.
There was
The
a
drying
wall.
racks? Hello. All right, Yannick.
What would you like to do, Yannick?
Yannick will call out, "I'm Sergeant. I'm here to bring you in to answer for your leaving your post. That way you can spare your men immediate judgment."
Yannick, roll me a persuasion check.
Why, please?
Where's our bard?
Why? She's moving.
And if
Come
you'd
on.
like, whisper me the result.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Oh.
So the rest of the players don't
I don't
know.
like that. I don't like that.
I like it.
Luckily, we can
I
cut
wanna
away
know if
back
he
to
did good.
Phelan, who is still on the outside, having just knocked this guy off of his feet after breaking his nose. What would you like to do?
Grapple him, Phelan. Grapple him.
Hold person.
Oh, shit. That's worse.
Wait, how is your
Just
DC
stay
only
still,
10?
please.
Hold on, hold on.
We'll be with you in a minute.
Like the fighting games.
That DC's got to be
Knock it
wrong.
off. Boom.
Amanda, real quick, I think your saving DC.
I think it's wrong.
Should be 13.
Yeah, it should be
Alright,
13,
that's
but I don't know.
All right,
what's
we'll look into
I
it later.
bet you dragged that from the wrong spell list.
Phelan, as you look down at this individual who is now rolling about, no longer screaming about how the goddesses have stolen his sight, but is now clutching his face in agony and just howling as blood is just kind of squirting out towards his wrists and just slowly coating his palms and hands this red gory color.
He's-
As you look
he's
down
gonna-
at him, really unsure what else to do, two invisible hands reach around and just palm this guy closed in a tight grip as his arms shoot down to his sides as he's noticeably just squeezing in place
And he's
right in front of
blind. I didn't
by
realize
these arcane hands.
Yeah.
blind
So
deafness
okay.
is not a concentration.
Yeah,
So
he's
still
blind, bleeding, and constricted. It's great.
Jeez.
You're
How do I
okay.
whisper?
It's with a flesh wound.
If you type /W
Space GM.
space GM space, then you can type out whatever you would like.
I always type Zen call. I never use
Get
GM.
rid
It
of-
throws me off.
Did they get rid of macro buttons?
They
No.
readjusted them a couple of times.
I missed my GM whisper button.
All right,
I
that'd
don't.
be the space GM.
I don't miss your GM whisper button. Used it
Space
too.
/W space GM space and then
Cognar
whatever you
abused the GM whisper, in my opinion.
One more time. Too much chatter.
I might be able to type it out.
But Biggerstaff said without the dot.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works.
If
Zephyr,
not, we'll see it in chat.
what are you doing?
I am just
Just a small town. Well,
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna take the dodge action as well,
All right.
and just preparing myself.
Ugh,
Standing at the ready.
finally, people are listening to me. It's like I rolled a 0 on persuasion or something.
It was-
Yeah, get a load of this guy.
It was self-defense.
Hey, I rolled a 0 on persuasion. I like that it took me 6 rounds to get a hold of everything.
Yeah, you can't have it easy.
Bickerstaff. Those who you can see that still hold on to their weapons are now kind of slowly lowering them by their sides at this point in time. And up towards the top of the stairs, Varric looks to be loosening his grip on his arrows. They are slowly sinking back from the tight pose they were drawn to.
Bickerstaff will also sheath his sword and lower his shield. And he will say, my wife called me Bickerstaff, but you may call me what you like. And as the sergeant said, Varric, we need to have some words with you.
Let them up. Mald or Carlo, join us.
Bickerstaff will help up Balder Dash.
Baldrago?
Baldrago.
Alright.
Bickerstaff will help him up. And
Alright.
he will say, are you all right? I'm sorry. Zephyr gets a little defensive of me.
And he looks down towards his still very much open stomach.
Oh, I will heal him again. Then. 5 points. Well, Bickerstaff will at least try, stop the bleeding, basically.
All right. And Bickerstaff, as you turn around and focus on this guy for a second, under his breath, you can hear him grimace just loud enough that Zephyr could probably hear him. Miserable mutt. Better keep you shapers chained up somewhere. Anything else you would
doesn't
like to
bother
do, Bickerstaff?
After he is done, he will follow Mulder up the stairs.
All right.
Because I think Mulder went right before me, technically.
Yep, and Mulder starts to go up the stairs. Effectively.
Since Baldrago wasn't called up, so he just wanted to make sure he wasn't dead.
All right. So Zephyr and Yannick, effectively you can see Bickerstaff starting to ascend these stairs. And Zephyr now turning around and looking up them. You can see the individual up the top who shot you a second ago. Wearing a sergeant's uniform. of the MistHaven Guard. Lieutenant, you know.
Lieutenant. I just completely ignore Baldrago because he doesn't even have the decency to use a blade. When it comes to me, he has to use a hammer. And so I'll follow Bakerstaff.
Fucked up.
All right.
I love hammers. It's such a cool weapon.
Not for meat processing.
Oh, I love it.
And I'm still completely on my
That's
guard
a hammer.
and kind of keeping an ear out below and make sure nobody's doing anything stupid.
All right.
So I'm going to be kind of just scanning. Kind of
All right.
trying to half pay attention to everything.
Last only a minute.
I'm gonna try
Long
and
enough
drag
for
this
her to like
Yannick.
tie him up. And she just like sits on him.
I'll be right back.
Yannick, what are you doing? Bickerstaff and Zephyr are heading up after Mulder towards Van Castervin's voice.
Only Mulder went up.
Only Mulder has gone up. Carlo is still standing beside you, giving you a look.
After you, Carlo.
And he kind of grunts your way. I insist.
Very well.
I mean, why would you not trust these guys? Come on. Not funny? Oh, my bad.
He's just scared to be tackled again.
And effectively, Phelan, you're out here with this gentleman that you've blinded, broken his nose. He's now being held and restrained in place, midair, a few feet away from you. What would you like to do, Phelan?
Can I try and drag him back inside?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Tie him.
Effectively, dragging him is going to take half your movement to do so.
That's fine. And is there anything in here, like rope or anything I could use to tie him up with?
Roll me an investigation check.
Oh, jeez.
It looks as though most of the barrels or crates or old sacks that might have been used here are fairly well crafted in that they require nails and not ropes to hold them together. So you don't find any of what you're looking for. There is a system of pulleys hanging from the ceiling above, but it is a very well woven machine, and that this one piece of rope goes all the way through this whole system, presumably for lifting and moving some of the heftier
Ooh.
of their stock.
Are there like hooks attached to it?
Not hooks attached to it, no. But effectively like a system to wrap around and then pull up from any sort of wagons or the like.
Can I attach him to that and suspend him in the air?
You can certainly try.
I would like to try.
I love how she's like, I'm going to play dollhouse with you. I'm going to play you. Yeah,
Well, I mean, I love
Marionette.
it. She's like, look, guys, I caught one of them. Look, I caught him.
I got one, guys. I did
What
it.
did you do? You broke his back.
Go ahead and roll
Go
me
for
an
this one. I'm
athletics
bringing
check
this one in.
at advantage because of the pulleys, and effectively it's their job to give you advantage.
Oh, come on, Phelan. Oh,
Yeah.
Phelan!
You drag this guy 15 feet before you just kind of breathe in heavily. Like, you're not much for the physical exercises, and you can still hear voices shouting about something in the distance. This is going to be a lot of work to keep dragging him that far. And oh, that'll do. And you start coiling ropes around this individual, and in a couple of quick moments, start pulling the single lead rope around its spool. And as you do so, this individual is lifted up from his place about 10, 15 feet in the air. And he is still blinded and still looking absolutely petrified in his place.
It's okay. I don't want to hurt you. I promise.
But effectively, that's going to be your turn, Phelan.
In a past,
I love everything about this scene.
I
From
know.
hitting him with the stick to the blindness.
the funny thing is in a past life, she pretty much did all this with a monk going through a magical bog.
Yeah, but like I just love how
No, I
she
love it.
succeeded in everything in capturing that guy. It was
She needs to
effortless.
play the lottery. Is what she needs to do.
She succeeded at blinding him. She succeeded at proning him. She succeeded at petrifying
Holding him?
She
Fucking
succeeded
A.
at hanging him. Like, I just love everything that just happened.
She needs to go to the queen and be like, I would like to be made duchess.
Why? Because I captured this motherfucker.
I want your job.
Sorry.
And on the bright side, if I accidentally kill him, I'll have a new toy.
Oh.
Oh Lord.
And
So
to bring back-
Bickerstaff, Zephyr, and Yannick, you guys are led upstairs following Varric's orders, and he leads you up to where a round table sits surrounded by 4 wooden chairs with a couple of stacks of cards resting already spread out on the table. A cabinet to the southwest of the room looks to loosely hang open, revealing a tangle of dirty clothes and blankets. What look to be a number of bedrolls line the northernmost wall. And Varric effectively goes to the far side of the room and gestures towards the table. His bow is strung around his back. And Mulder and Carlo follow you guys up and effectively stand over by the stairs.
Yeah, I'll pull up this seat right here.
All right. As you guys start to sit around the table, Varric kind of looks each of you very keenly once over. You say you're here on Creed's orders, but I only see a badge upon one of you.
She didn't want it to appear as the gods were fighting the gods. You can understand her delicate situation as the current climate around here, which I'm sure played into your decision.
Well, I've no doubt she has her own prerogatives, but at the very least, isn't it the job of the city guard to enforce the city's rules?
That is why I'm here. They have been deputized to help.
So the city's deputizing now.
She
They
is
really
Yes, because a
fallen
lot of
so
people
low.
have left their station and left a lot of people vulnerable. So we are
Because
doing what
a
we need
lot
to
of
do.
our own people were left vulnerable by the guard. When the riots started out, where were they to protect our families?
Trying to quell the riot, and you leaving made it worse.
Successfully. Nor did Creed's orders, continuing to maintain our presence at the organized units. Groups upon groups wasted wandering the same main streets when it should have been us wandering through the alleyways, stopping the real crimes in their tracks. The looters who were allowed to spread free through old MistHaven, as the city's nobles were protected, as their streets were looked over very thoroughly.
Bickerstaff's just gonna look at Jonic.
Well, it wasn't my choice of where to do, but I did as I was commanded, and thus you should have done the same.
But when you're being commanded by fools, what good is it?
That
We
is our
left
station.
because
That
he
is
does
the
not stand for the principles that we signed up for. She no
You said it.
longer holds the same values that she promised us. She's different now than what she claimed to be. And we are standing up against that.
I missed that. He's saying that about Cassandra Creed.
yes.
Seems to.
Okay.
So will you go in your men's stead to answer for what has been done?
Answer me this and answer me honest. Are you also under Reed's payroll?
Absolutely not. The crime in the alleys you were talking about, we were helped stopping that, and we've also managed to shut down 2 of Corbin Reed's drug houses. Hence why the field marshal sought to deputize us. We've been just essentially cleaning up the streets the last week and a half since the rebellion. The bastard Reed had taken my. He looks at the man who's very quite serious, and he's just gonna say, "Granddaughter, captive," and we rescued her, and then have been seeking out ways to stop him from causing more chaos. But in doing so, we have butchered an agreement with the field marshal because, well, frankly, there's been a lot of violence, and we have been directing that violence at Reed's men, not the guards or the people. But the problem is, and he points at himself, and Zephyr kind of leaves out Jonic just for the sake of this conversation, can't be everywhere at once. And honestly, you seem like good men. I find it hard to believe that you would leave out protecting the people for feeding them. I understand the thought, and I think it's commendable, but it seems to go against what you're preaching here.
We took our arms and our weaponry from our previous positions and posts so that we could continue to uphold justice on behalf of those who deserve it. Cassandra Creed is under the coin of Corbin Reed. This much I have reason to believe. You being here, either on her behalf or Reed's, makes little difference to us.
Bickerstaff has this really confused look on his face.
I would like to insight that to see if he's trying to lie about it, or if he's just trying to, put it on.
All right, Zephyr, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
17.
Oh, you get no whisper. Join the Black Raiders! Bickerstaff is going to look at Jonic and telepathically he's going to say, Jonic, is there any truth to what he says? Is Cassandra Creed really working for Corbin Reed?
I don't see how, but maybe you could ask him for proof.
Bickerstaff will nod and he'll look at Varric and he'll say, Varric, that's a very serious accusation. What kind of proof do you have that she's in the pocket of Corbin Reed? Because if this is true, I find it very serious.
Well, I'll have you know. And he kind of leans forward a bit. I have my sources. And he continues to look you guys over. Yannick, come with me.
All right, Yannick will take the bait.
And effectively, he pushes his way through to the next room, where a single large desk stands in the eastern part of the large office, with a part of this office also transformed into a kind of makeshift apartment, judging by the bed and bedroll in the corner. Chamber pot looks to still sit underneath it, and a table and 3 chairs sit along the west side. Several papers lie strewn over the table's surface, and one of the papers is pinned to the tabletop by an exquisite-looking silver dagger. But he leads you in, and he turns back around to face you, and he gets very close and lowers his voice considerably. Listen, Yannick. You claim to be here on behalf of the Guard, but your allies wear no uniforms. Can I trust you?
Absolutely, and you can take my word for it. I have seen them destroy one drug lab firsthand.
Because it has come to my attention that not only Cassandra Creed, but as well as a greater number of of our own city guard to be under the employ of Corbin Reed, the drug dealer. The same man who's been causing and stirring all sorts of riots and revolts throughout the city as of late. Same one starting that band of revolutionaries they're calling themselves. It's come to my attention, and so I'm here on behalf of the very people that I took an oath to protect. Not here at the behalf of Cassandra Creed, but here performing my own operation. An investigation of sorts. An undercover investigation of sorts. Working with them as best as I can to get names. I took as many of my men under my command as I could trust, and we set up shop here. He kind of gestures around. We've managed to get contact with Corbin Reed, and we know that as of late, he's striving more and more to get more of the city guard under his coin. He's got something big coming, and it's coming soon. Last reports that I heard, he'd attacked out at one of the Emerald Enclave envoys, bringing something through the city, but he took out nearly an entire faction of the Griffin Cavalry. He's got something big coming, and I don't like it, to be frank. And not knowing who I can trust is an even bigger problem, to avoid waking up with a dagger in your back.
But you said you had proof.
I'm still working on proof. But at this point, I have word of mouth from a number of individuals who claim to have personally paid Creed. I know this won't be nearly enough to hold up in Longacre, but I am trying, and we are making leeway. Just recently, we garnered some information about a recent attack on one of Corbin Reed's drug outposts, much like what you described earlier. He was working out of an old fishery not too far from here, along the docks. And from there, he had an entire setup. And from there, he was also harvesting his own dream spiders to help concoct that shiver shit that he's peddling throughout the city. But we also heard that it was hit by one of his rivals. And we believe we might be able to make use of those rivals if they have information that we can use to establish Corbin Reed's location. We might just be able to bring him in and get names from him personally.
Okay.
If the field marshal is corrupt, I fear the corruption may not stop at her, but it could go all the way to the top.
Yannick will scratch the top of it. Is the door closed or is it?
The door is closed behind you.
Damn.
Damn.
Yep, I can't see you.
Okay. Lieutenant, I want to fully trust you. I need something physical to take back to gain trust that we are making headway, and then we can assist in finding out if she is truly on the wrong. But I promise you, if you double cross, we won't come in with hesitation next time. But if you are telling the truth, then I want to assist and take out the real issue. I need something physical of a location of Corbin Reed, drug locations, couriers, anything, where we can make headway on that while buying you time before I have to act on you.
I swear to you, I have nothing but the purest of intentions. To save the good people of this city from whatever threats she might face. And he
Check
reaches...
insight. Can I?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Now it's the perfect time.
Natural 20.
Hell yes. You want me to take a picture?
Really?
Is it?
Awesome. That's 2 20s in a row. I couldn't hit shit with a bow.
You believe he is
Work on that charisma.
sincerely believing the words that he's speaking, and almost as if sensing this, like to further push you over the this guy like word is your bond kind of thing. Very kind of a Ned Starky feel with this guy kind of a thing. And he unstraps the bow across his back and he hands it over to you and he says, I so swear upon my rank and my bow that I have nothing but the best of intentions for the people of MistHaven, and I intend to root out any criminals that would hide within the shadows of it. And I will do what I can to see that they come to justice.
All right. Yannick will just totally buy in.
And he effectively hands you his bow.
Oh, like,
Like you
Da-na-na-na.
asked for something physical, and he's like, I had full intent behind it.
Does it seem like it's like a customized bow? Like you would be able to tell it was his bow.
yeah, it's like
Very
totally plus
much so.
5.
Plus 5. It's a god bow.
All right. So I was thinking, leads to drug houses, but this works great. I can push a. I'm metagaming. All right, never mind. All right, so I will, do the soldier handshake, or no, I'll keep it military. I'll salute him, and
Shit.
just show him an overall. All right, I'm on board. Let's do this.
All right. Before you go for the door, he keeps his voice quiet. Can your friends be trusted?
I feel so. I have no ill thoughts coming from them. I've seen them do nothing but good. Nothing in my training shows
Don't
them
mention that prisoner they
everything.
killed.
No, totally not saying anything about that. So everything I've seen them do has been
He's got
toward the greater
plausible
good.
deniability.
He does.
I saw nothing. So I think we're in good hands. I think they're going to be a powerful ally.
And effectively, Yannick comes back into the room with Bickerstaff and Zephyr as Varric pushes the door open, completely confident in your assessment skills. And he kind of leads you back into the next room. And Bickerstaff and Zephyr, you can see Yannick stepping out holding Varric's bow. As Varric then steps forward a bit, he says, if you think it necessary, I can follow you back to the Citadel for questioning. Otherwise, Yannick and I discussed some things, and I will allow you a few moments for him to fill you in.
Yannick, what is going on?
Bernie!
Mulder, Carlo, we're giving them the room for a minute.
As we start our conversation before they even leave.
As he goes,
because we're talking mentally.
Yeah, as he goes to leave, I'm going to. I've kind of had my hand in my spice pouch, and grabbing a pinch of like a rather potent spice that I know the smell of, but it's maybe not something that you would use normally, like I don't know, like a saffron or something. And
right.
I'll take it, and as he's passing by, I'm gonna flick it down into his boot.
All right. Roll me a sleight of hand.
Yeah, shit.
Makes sense.
14?
All right. Zephyr, you feel like you stealthily reached in your pouch and kind of dusted the back leg of his pant. Hopefully it sticks. Hopefully they didn't see you. That wasn't the most gracious you've ever been. Graceful, but nevertheless,
get up and
effectively
distract
they
him,
begin
but-
to walk down the stairs.
They're totally good. They're totally great people. Promise you. All right.
I've got a thing for that. Don't worry about it.
All right. So we're alone.
You guys are all mental talking.
Seemingly.
Well, now we're alone. Yeah.
Okay, guys. He is, I feel, totally on the up and up. I think we actually have bigger fish to fry. And if it turns out false, which I don't think so, but if it does, we can burn that card later.
Do you think that Cassandra Creed really is working for Corbin Reed?
That I don't know yet. I'm not willing to buy in on that because he wasn't 100%. But I'd say at the very least, with what info he's already gathered, it'll give us a leg up on Corbin Reed and taking him out and use him as a leg up and destroying that. And then if Cassandra starts to balk and worry that a money pot is starting to disappear, I think she'll reveal herself in some sort of way. And if she doesn't, and we finish out Corbin Reed, everything is on the up and up, then he'll have to answer.
I don't know if I trust him, especially since he says he's going to be working with Corbin Reed.
Roll 20.
Damn it, man. Didn't you hear me?
No, I
let's
heard
see.
you.
How would...
My roll 20 just crapped out. That was weird. My computer better not be.
Everything in my training to try to pull somebody out from a nefarious angle, I did not get that from him. And we can always come back. And you
have
wanted
to
a
take
peaceful...
back to the field marshal.
I can make up a story.
That's not going to be.
Or do
good.
I that we're hot on the trail, we're closer, and we're also, finding possible locations for more labs, and that would maybe tell me if she's pushing for him more or the labs.
No, she wanted us to come here and get him.
Right. I can say I'm closer on this trail. Oh, by the way, we found more drug labs. If she keeps, pounding the table for him...
Did he tell you where another lab is?
Before we leave, I'm going to make a point to where we can draw, info, locations. Hey, what have you heard today? Where can we find somebody today? Is there going to be a drop?
So, right now we have nothing.
We will have something before we leave. He's waiting for our answer.
So you plan on baiting the field marshal into some sort of answer?
A possible bait. If she takes the bait, then she reveals her true intention. If she doesn't, and awards us for taking down drug labs while we're searching for him, then we have to possibly assume that he doesn't know, and she's on the up and up.
Now
or
that
until we find our own.
now that Jonik mentions it, Zephyr, we did get basically sent into a trap by Cassandra Creed.
Well, I think that there's an easy way of determining this. We go back, if we don't bring the lieutenant with us, we go back and tell her that we interrogated one of the men. He didn't survive, but we couldn't retrieve his body. And then we bring up to her that he said that she is being paid off, and then we look really close and see if she's trying to play us.
I don't know if we play that fast.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible plan, Zephyr.
Sounds like a great
It is
idea.
a long con. We played out. People usually get frustrated and start making moves, waiting for you.
The problem is that she has power. So we need some concrete proof if we're going to bring her to justice. Also,
That we need to see if it goes above her.
well, see, I understand Varric's point that Cassandra is basically doing her job to protect the rich, which makes sense, and that is what she's doing. I'm not going to deny that. But protecting Corbin Reed? That I haven't seen.
And what did you mean when you said she basically sent you into a trap?
Well, she told us that she had heard about when Sanji got abducted. And then we went and met with Corbin Reed at this fountain. And he had a lot of people with him. And the guards were suspiciously far away, it seemed.
Was
But
that not
basically
Cassandra
bait.
Creed, but the guy
Jim's
from
dead body.
what's his name? Wasn't that the other guy that we talked to on the wharf? On the dock?
No, I
that
thought
told us
we
where it
heard
was?
about that from Cassandra Creed.
No, Jitter's dead body had a note saying that there was that Corbin had a captive.
No, I'm talking about where the location of the other.
I'm talking about the fountain thing.
Yeah, that was we walked in on Jitter's dead body, and there was a note for Garrett saying, or because Garrett
For
wasn't
me.
there, and we assumed that they had Garrett, and when we got there, it ended up being Sanji, but it was a note saying we have.
There was a
hostage.
note there that was stabbed into Jitter's chest that was labeled for Zephyr. But the party didn't find it. Effectively, the guard handed it to you guys, saying they found this on the scene, effectively, and they handed it to Zephyr. You guys never actually saw it on the body yourselves.
Thank you. I was like, the guards told us about that.
But
That's
then-
what
Oh, I
Effectively,
thought
it
you were
was
talking about
Cassandra
the
Creed.
coffee shop one.
Then it was effectively Cassandra Creed who sanctioned you guys to go in on their behalf to negotiate to the freeing of Sanji, the hostage. And they were like within 300 feet or something like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Brodrin told us where the second drug place was. I thought that's what we were talking about.
Brodrin did tell us that, but I'm talking about the fountain.
Well, you guys are having a thought on that. Phelan,
What are you doing?
while you were downstairs, you effectively hung this guy out to dry. And while he's
Oh,
still there,
man.
blinded and restrained, dangling.
The blind and the hold person only work for 1 minute, which is why I wanted to restrain him up in the pulley system.
All right.
Fair
So-
warning.
And this is still while he is blinded and restrained
Okay.
and still up in that pulley system.
I want to close these doors and
All
like
right.
secure them the best I can in case he does get down. Like
It
if I
looks
have
as though
to-
there's a large beam of wood that could be used to lock this door, but the lock would be on your side.
I'll lock it. That's fine. I mean, it's a start.
All right.
And then I'm like gonna push this wagon in front of the door too, because I assume
A
he's.
strength check.
Oh God, it has wheels.
It does have wheels.
Lowers the DC a little bit. Damn, Phelan, super strong.
As you're pushing the cart from one point of the room to the other, an individual comes creeping around the corner, seeing you alone here, pushing their wagon across the space. What the hell are you doing?
I'm not here to hurt you. We just want to talk.
And his hand goes out like you were talking to like a stray animal or something. What the hell are you doing?
I'm blocking the door so you guys can't escape.
And you hear some muffled grunting as some of the ropes and pulleys start to jangle up above, catching his attention as he goes up towards the rafters, seeing his compatriot there noticeably struggling and bound up with the ropes, and he pulls his hammer out, and
It's not what it looks like.
What the hell are you doing?
It's not what it looks like, really. He ran right into it.
What?
I was moving this and I could climb up on the wagon and help him down.
No. Do we hear him yelling?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. Hopefully Varric maybe heard this.
Phelan, I believe you were pushing a cart from one point to another.
Mm-hmm.
As this gentleman comes into the room.
Don't mind us, please. Just go.
Drawing his hammer out from his belt loop, the little ring he's got specifically for his sledgehammer.
You're dreaming. I'm a dream. This isn't real.
Phelan,
We
what
should
are
just
you
kill them
gonna
all
do?
and take the gold.
What way does this door open?
Which
In
door?
order.
The one to
Out.
your right or the
No.
alley door?
This one.
That one, it opens into the room that you're standing in.
I want to
Actually, sorry, it opens into the room he's standing in.
Oh, well, either way, I want to try and use my mage hand and just close the door.
Go away.
Some
Go
forth
away.
a spectral
Wham!
hand
just nothing to see here. Move along.
pulls and yanks, and he's just motionless where he stands. But the hand is able to close the second half of the double wide door. He's not.
Huh.
Yes.
Well, that didn't work
As
as
Phelan
planned.
just walks up calmly and closes the other door. Excuse me.
Anything else you would like to do, Phelan?
Oh, God.
Looking. Oh, damn, I'm out of those spell slots. That would have been very interesting.
As he starts charging into the room, he shouts back over his shoulder, "And they got a rogue!"
A rogue. Oh, snap.
He's taking a swing with a hammer towards you, Phelan.
Oh, God. I'm not good with weapons.
With a 19 to hit.
That's going to
Oh
hit.
God.
As the hammer crashes down into your frail form, it is going to do a minimum of 4 points of bludgeoning damage as it crashes into your side.
Oh, look, I mean, really here, we don't want to fight. This is a huge misunderstanding.
Phelan, what do you do?
I'm going to reach out and tase him. Just calm down, please, sir.
Oh, my
Please
God.
just
Reach
calm down.
forward. Lightning surges across his person.
Why do you do this to people?
Oh, my God.
And for future reference, you would have advantage on that because
She
he
rolled it
is
with
wearing
advantage.
chainmail armor. Okay,
Oh,
good.
By the way, you need to take advantage plus off.
oh.
Because that makes all your rolls advantage. Forever.
Oh, well, look at that. How convenient.
Cheater!
Amanda's cheating again. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your initiative really?
Wait.
Your initiative is not 18. What is it really? It's a 6.
A 3.
Unbelievable.
No, your first roll was a 6. You're still behind him.
She was in front of him.
Too late.
What did I see?
So, Phelan, with that,
My bad.
his hammer's coming up, and it's coming down.
Either way, I didn't close the door, so I tried.
A 22 to hit.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
She's gonna be dead, and we walk down. And it's like, ah, shit.
This
I'm still
time
gonna
when it
have to-
makes impact with you, it breaks a couple of ribs as it comes crashing through for 14 points of bludgeoning damage. Bah!
So I'm gonna have to ask you one more time, please. Please don't do that. It really
Yeah.
hurts.
You have to make a concentration
fuck.
check for hold person, right?
No,
No,
I'm
that's
assuming
already done.
roughly about this point in time, this guy is
Oh,
still
okay.
struggling up in the ropes, screaming about how this witch blinded him. Typical Sunday.
Fuck, I'm dead. Oh
All
God.
right. Do we hear this? Zephyr would probably hear this, right?
It's
mean, he
about
just
this
walked out
time
of the
in
room.
discussions that Zephyr. There's another voice in the back of your mind. That's not Bickerstaff's. That's Phelan.
I know her scream.
Simply mumbling and screaming about something, and then you hear another voice. They got a rogue.
Oh, I'm running.
Bickerstaff looks at Jonic. Where's Phelan?
Okay.
Oh,
She's at the back door.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna try and just like smack this guy on the face with my quarterstaff. It worked so well last time.
All right.
oh, 0 damage.
I like how she's utterly failing at everything now.
I'm surprised.
You flail your quarterstaff, and the top rung of it just kind of snaps off as it makes impact against his armor.
You guys will never know how badass I was. You'll always come and I'll be like half dead.
It just breaks off, and in that moment, things are looking bad for you.
This
I'm
isn't
running
good.
down the stairs.
I just, you know,
As
we could have been friends.
is charging down the stairs, taking the lead. Zephyr, you're the first to see Varric, as well as the 2 guards that were stationed upstairs with you, have sprinted forward a short distance there themselves, just coming around this corner. Varric's going to shout out, "Wallace, wait! Hold!" And Phelan, you see his hammer rearing up, and hearing this, he just stops in place.
Oh, I knew you would come around. I
She
didn't-
took out pawn, sir.
I took your what? Your pawn?
Han.
Horns.
Harns.
Oh, well, you came at me with a hammer. I tried to
you
close
up
the door.
there, you're Barnes. Sorry, Barnes.
As you guys come running your way into the main room, the killing floor of this grim chamber, strewn with blood-stained straw and the reek of slaughter almost overpowering here. This is the killing floor. Meat hooks dangle from a metal track affixed to the ceiling that allows the hooks and their gory loads to be moved easily around the room. In the northwest corner, judging by the large blood pool that is present there, as well as the discarded hammer and the boar chained in place, you're judging that's the killing spot for these beasts.
Yeah.
To the south, a blood-stained grill covers a wide hole in the floor, and just north of the grill sits 2 large vats of water, one roiling and bubbling, and the other looks to be still and cold. 2 large butcher blocks stand to the east, and next 2 barrels of salt, and in the southeast corner sits a reeking vat of cast-off meat and bones.
Where's
And effectively, that's what you see. It looks as though there's still a number of dangling corpses from these meat hooks, half of a cow, pieces from a pig, and the like. Like they were in the process of doing something before they were distracted. But the voice that you're hearing calling out seems to be echoing towards the back.
All right.
Phelan
Well,
to be in the kind of
yeah,
loading.
I will move as fast as I can into the room.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
Get in between everyone, and then I'm gonna bark something out once I get there.
Bickerstaff's just gonna run towards Phelan.
I can't see Phelan because there's apparently a wall between us.
Giant vat of water there.
Once you start moving, you can see her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So
you really took
Like,
I'll
half
get in
of
and I'll
the
say,
holding a broken quarterstaff. There's a guy dangling in the air. quite a sight.
Phelan's noticeably wincing, holding her side on what remains of most of her quarterstaff.
So I'm gonna see that, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put my hands out both sides and say, I thought we were going to be civil, and I'm gonna try to intimidate everyone to settle down.
We forgot to tell them about Phelan. That's our fault.
Civil.
I forgot to mention that you also had a rogue.
She's not a rogue.
She's a wizard, believe it or not.
I was very
Terrible
sneaky, though. They never saw me coming.
As she winces. Ow!
Oh, I can't laugh.
Down from here!
One moment. I'm going to heal Phelan.
Alright, while you're healing Phelan up, this other individual, identified as Wallace, starts to lower Parnes down from the restraints up in the ceiling.
I will use my mage hand
Oh,
to
jeez,
help
I
him.
rolled great. Total of 7 hit points back, Phelan.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I feel so much better. My rib is no longer broken.
Excellent. Sorry, Pog. What was your name again?
Parn!
Barnes.
I don't like you.
Well, your nose seems to be a little off. Let me.
She broke it!
It wasn't my fault. You were blind and ran into my stick.
You blinded me.
Well, that's just silly. It was just
Well,
bright.
that's like your opinion, man.
Then I suppose the ropes just, picked up
Varric,
by
can I
themselves.
interrupt you? Are there any more of yours hiding out elsewhere, waiting on an ambush?
No, this is it.
Bickerstaff will say no. Sorry. Braun, is it?
Barnes.
There's
I know.
both.
Oh,
Barnes. Allow me if I could just I will make your nose a little better here, if it's all right. And he won't touch him unless he lets him.
He's just grimacing at you, and when your hands go up, he kind of leans back, like refusing it.
Well,
Does not trust
it
you at all.
really looks a lot better this way anyways. So I will use prestidigitation to get rid of the blood. I don't touch you for that one.
An arcane flourish right on the upper lip of himself. He just kind of freaks out, startled for a moment, starts batting at his face, and immediately regrets it.
as he
Okay, that's enough. Everybody
as he
just...
howls out in pain, Bickerstaff's is gonna reach up really quick and touch him. And oh man, I'm rolling great. Jeez.
You feel a flourish of energy starting to leave the tip of your palm as he rips himself away, only getting the tip of what you had available to give this gentleman.
It'll say, well, that really stopped the bleeding a bit.
Get away from me!
Oh, you guys are gonna come willingly then?
That's
I
what I get for
suppose we
trying
worked
to
out our deal and you're gonna come willingly, yes?
Phelan,
No.
just come on. Bickerstaff's gonna like grab Phelan and drag her along with him.
Zephyr
Are we gonna go to the
is
front door?
What's she talking about, Varric?
Zephyr is
Nothing,
face palming.
Don't listen to her. And Bickerstaff's gonna grab her and just drag Phelan along.
I'll be
Phelan.
dragged.
And he's gonna speak to her mind. Phelan, we haven't come to any kind of accord yet. You need to settle the fuck down.
Oh.
Carlos steps closer. No. Follow you where?
Back inside, of course. I was trying to close the back door so we wouldn't escape. We have more to talk about.
Yannick looks to Varric and says, one more thing before we leave you to it. Any idea of a future drop or a location on a drug house so we have something to push forward?
And he kind of looks over his shoulder and then back towards you and says, I don't know what you're talking about, Yannick.
His
Oh,
buddies
shit.
were next to him.
For our
Need a meat delivery somewhere?
yes, our food shipment.
Suppose that could be arranged. Just
Okay.
be sure you leave an address before you walk out.
I was just at the office.
Phelan, you have a quill, don't you?
Yes, yes, I do.
Can I borrow it, please?
Yes, yes. Let me find it. It's in one of my bags. Oh, not that one.
She pulls out an arm. Oh, no, not that one.
Wrong one. Ignore that, people, please. It's okay.
Pulls out an entire human spine. She's like, that's not right.
Oh,
Well, it's
that's
something that,
not
like,
good.
she very obviously knew it wasn't a quill when her hand wrapped around it in the bag, but she still pulled out anyways, just to show off that she had it. One of
So
those things.
I'll wink
I'll-
at the
I'll
guy
take
that
her-
I had tied up in the ropes.
I'll take her quill, and on the bottom of my ticket that I have for a whole pig, I'm going to write the address of the Baylor's Retreat on it, and I will hand it over to Varric.
All right.
Sorry I couldn't come and pick it up, but we had pressing matters with a distributor.
No trouble at all. No harm, no foul. Right, Parnes? That's right, Varric. Good. Now, I believe you are on your way out.
Yeah.
When I bring
where
over
did
the parchment to him, I just want to make sure I take a good whiff and make sure I can smell that spice on him.
Roll me a survival check.
A lot of deaths in this
16.
room.
16. Very faintly, you can pick up on the scent of that spice,
Okay,
even above the gore within this room.
that's good.
You smell it there.
I bid you all a good day. Thank you for your business.
We'll see you later with the pig. Like wave and like.
He gives you a look like, what are you talking about? What pig? As you guys are walking forward.
There's a receipt for like one whole hog.
Yeah, for the day before. But Varric is looking at you guys like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
If he looks that way, and I'll go in back and whisper to him, it's like, no, I really want the pig. Please send it to that address.
Zephyr, can I have my quill back, please?
What? Oh,
My quill?
yeah, here. I'll hand her back her quill.
And effectively, you guys are led to the front doors of this shop, where the doors close and you audibly hear them latch as the last one of you exits.
Yes, they don't want us coming back. So, I caught a guy in the back, and apparently we're not taking anyone with us, so I clearly missed something.
No, I missed something as well. Jonic, do you mean to tell me that the entire city guard is corrupt?
Oh dear.
I'm sure some lower level has been corrupted, and I believe him on that. I wanted to play this out because all of my techniques of trying to see if somebody is moving sideways with their information, I truly believe what he was telling me, or at least he believes it's true. I want us to at least play it out and see if we can get proof on our own, or have her play her hand.
Her,
If he's lying.
as in Cassandra?
Yes, Cassandra. He believes she is on the take. And if that is true, then we could be compromised because she could give us false information and lead us down a path that we don't want to go.
Well, I mean, we did give her the queen's brooch, and so, you know, if that ends up in the wrong hands and not in the queen's hands, then we'll know that she's on the wrong side. But we're supposed to be meeting the queen, so
That was a
Maybe.
big maybe.
no,
Well,
I'm sure she's
how about-
very.
How about this? How about I go and watch over the field marshal?
How will you do that?
Yes, you can't do that for very long, Cookie.
Oh, you could be
I
her
can do
personal
it almost
chef.
indefinitely.
How so?
As long as I am just sitting there and I'm not doing anything besides watching, I can stay in my form.
What form would that be?
A black squirrel.
Black squirrel, but she would notice a black squirrel. You need to be like a little bug or something, not like a fly on the wall. Can you be a fly?
No.
Hmm.
I can make something work, but I can definitely be hidden and stay in her chambers.
Black
Yes,
squirrel
I
is
don't think
very
so.
noticeable. I do notice black squirrels more than any other squirrels. The one that I have. Hmm.
But I think information is paramount.
Yes,
We
but
don't
the
have
problem
enough.
is right now we don't have any information. We have
We-
no leads. This was
We
our
have
lead.
a guy named Gerald. That's our lead right now. It's not a big one, but it's
And
something.
Veric will send us word to that address.
What address?
The
The
I
one
gave him the
Zephyr.
address of the tavern, two blocks away. Bickerstaff, you know where you got the ale the other night?
Yes.
I sent him the address of that inn, or the tavern.
Why?
That way they don't come straight to our inn, because I don't trust him.
Hmm. Clever. But if they get our pig, how are we gonna get the pig?
Enough with the
Bickerstaff
big
can
Valen.
carry it back, maybe? Or I can wait. I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, but do you think that inn will give it to us? I'm just
If we're
saying,
s-
they might want to keep it for themselves.
Well, you can stand
Or
out
we can
front.
go there now, and hopefully he sends word today.
Hmm. I don't
Ryan,
think
what
she
time of
said
day is
that
it?
much.
We're expecting a delivery.
I guess we could give the barkeep some money and tell him that we're expecting something. And
You just stay in the tavern. Just order a drink every hour.
ooh, I love that plan.
Not you.
Oh. Every other hour, maybe.
Maybe. But yes, I can watch her if we need. I mean,
So-
the
so
fact
let
of
me
the
get
matter
this-
is she apparently doesn't ever leave her study, her office.
So this guy who abandoned the guard is accusing Cassandra to be working for
For Reed.
Reed.
Yes.
But then, well, I guess it was Boyle
Came
who
back to
told
the
us
end.
originally that some of the guard. Oh goodness, these politics are just too much. Can't we just run an inn and be happy?
Not at the current status of the city.
I guess you're right. Can't let it fall into shambles. Then we won't have an inn to run.
Yes, we would. We just wouldn't have a powerful government to protect us.
Oh,
Have
we just-
evil tyrannical government to lord over us. But, like I said, as of right now, we have no leads.
except for
I
Gerald.
think we get our lead from Vickerstaff when we hit the bar. Once we start there, my gut feeling is we will continue to get these leads.
Right, but if
And
he knew
hopefully-
something, why wouldn't he have told you something?
I don't think everybody is on the know
No,
that
I
works
thought-
with him.
Yeah, but you went in. What did in that room? Why didn't he tell you?
Honestly, I didn't think of it right then.
No, it's not good enough.
Ah,
We can't depend on somebody else for that. I think
gut feeling.
We might need to go back to the Eel's End and see if he's found anything else out from that ledger.
Well, last time he sent a guy to find us. But we're closer there than we are to the inn, so we might as well head there if that's where we're going. So I don't know if I'm in the mood to try and catch spiders right now because that guy really beat me with his hammer.
Okay, we can't take Jonic in there.
Oh. Well, I mean, they have an agreement with the guard. They're not, like, against the guard or anything. Johnny can wear my cloak.
Yannick, you can just cover your guard's uniform, right? You don't necessarily have to wear your rank when we go in there.
I'm sure there's got to be an insignia or something I can take off. Take off my badge.
What time of day is it right now?
Close to noon, midday.
Not too bad.
We could always look for Gerald.
Phelan, do you know anything about him other than the name?
He was around that area.
Do you know what he looks like? Do you have any other description of him? We can't just find somebody based on a name.
We could if we tried. I mean, how many Geralds do you know?
In old MistHaven Unknown, I know two.
Oh. Are any of them trying to sell drugs?
Oh.
Know that.
That's none of your business.
What I do in my pastime.
I also know of one woman that I spoke with in the coffee shop, and she was very snooty. But then the woman that we took down at the door in the alleyway, she said that she frequently goes there to buy drugs. So we could ask her where another location is. She's very snooty, though, I warn you. And she has an invisible creature, and she likes cold coffee. Actually, she hates cold coffee, but I made it cold.
I think it's probably best. I doubt that they would still be in that area over by the academy after what happened yesterday.
Well, yes, but if she's someone who needs these drugs, she's bound to find another connection. And I could definitely point her out because she's very snooty, and she had a blonde hair, tied back in a braid, red cloth with some silver filigree going on. She's very snooty, though. I don't want to talk to her again, but I can point her out. I mean, if it's someone with a drug addiction, they're going to find another source to buy it from. So, I mean, at the very least, we could probably follow her and find, it's an option. More than a name, at least.
What was your plan for baiting out Cassandra?
Report back more seizing of drugs than guards being brought in, and see if she pushes the guards more than the drugs.
So your plan would hinge on us getting another shipment or hitting another warehouse.
Yes, that is what I asked Varric for. Is a lead to another drug post. We take it out, we report back. Still haven't found guards, but hey, we found more drugs. We took this one out. You can see if she gets agitated by us taking out drugs, then guards.
Playing with her emotions. I like it. I mean, either way, we're doing good, so.
Yeah, either way, we're marching forward. both need to be taken. Unless the guards prove that they are in the right.
I just don't like that the whole plan hinges on trusting Barrick.
That I can just ask you to go with my gut feeling. I'm very strong about it.
Can I do an insight check on Jonik to see if he truly believes this, or if maybe these guards persuaded him to join their cause because he's a guard himself?
Go ahead and roll me an insight check. Well, Yannick?
Yeah, I truly believe. I truly believe. I have no hesitation.
He seems sincere in his statements.
Well, I think this is as good a shot as any. I mean, at the very least, if we trust him, the only thing we've done is given the poor food for an extra day or two. I mean, the guards really didn't seem like they were up to really any bad at all. Other than trying to murder me with a hammer. But I'll let that one slide, because I did tie up his friend.
Yeah, I was about to say that was in response.
So all we have to do is find another drug lab. How hard can it be in a big city like this?
So Varric is using the butcher shop as a way of gathering intel about the happenings going around the city, and he's trying to be a vigilante as well, correct?
No.
Correct.
He's going to work for Corbin Reed, and he's going to be a worm. He's going to try to be a double agent and undercover and try to feed information to us. That's
Wouldn't
right.
a double agent say that they were working for someone else in order to get us off their trail? It seems like this is very convoluted.
If it comes back as false, then we can always go back. But I think this is our best play with as little knowledge as we have.
So are we going to just go talk to Cassandra and see what she says and go from there?
I don't know. I think that's probably
not that quick.
Confront her on it. And we can't go back to her empty-handed, so...
We have to take the first lead that we get from Varric. If it pans out, then at least it's providing. And then
So then are you saying we're going to the bar?
Reacts.
Going to the bar.
I'd say that's our best bet.
On the way, do you think we could stop and buy a quarterstaff? Mine seemed to have snapped.
Absolutely.
At least we have a direction for now. We can ponder it more over drinks, which is never a bad idea, but not me apparently, unless it's every 2 hours.
So we have to head back to the market, correct?
Now to the Baylor's retreat, I guess is where we're going.
Yeah, where that address you gave him.
Yeah, that's by the inn.
It's like a block away.
Yeah.
Sneaky Zephyr.
So the party is making their way back to the south. Phelan, as you passed by the checkpoint that was overrun the other day, your senses peak back up. The alarm spell effectively has not been triggered yet.
Oh, that's good to know. No one's gone into the inn, guys. At least through the front door. Does it have the front and back door? I think it's a 20-foot radius.
Well, no, you would have to do 2
feet.
different ones, but I think you can only have one at a time, right?
Yeah. So no one's gone in the front door of the inn. Guys, this is good.
But eventually the party makes their way down, kind of, dockside, where things are getting a little more rowdy as the sun is getting slowly dipping lower into the sky. There's the occasional drunk that stumbles by with a group of his own, and eventually you guys come to the doors that Biggerstaff once breached, the Baylor's retreat. And inside, it is a hustle and bustle of activity as people are looking. It's about the time where people are getting off their shifts at the docks and starting to turn in for the day and starting to enjoy their early afternoon festivities. as you're entering a not packed full, but a decently crowded pub space.
On the way to the tavern, I want to be keeping an eye for any of the wharf rats that I know.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Yep. Oh, natural 20. 25.
25. As the party is traveling, you do see the occasional child kind of skittering through the alleyway. Not like every alley has a kid, but like along the entirety of this travel from the butchers to the bailiff's retreat, you might have seen one or two kids starting down an alleyway. They didn't look familiar to you, but they had a sense of unification, if that makes sense. Like they were both similarly moving. Like they'd been trained by a similar fashion.
I see.
As the party is making their way into the Baylor's retreat, there look to be a couple of emptied bar stools, a booth available towards the back, and a couple of open tables kind of spaced throughout the bar space. Behind the counter at this moment in time is going to be a brunette-haired individual, human, with the beard almost kind of mid-length, about to there. A streak of silver does ring over his right ear. Due to age or shock, you don't know for certain, but welcome to the Baylor's Retreat. What would you like to do?
Ooh, can I get a glass of wine, please?
Absolutely, madam. And for your friends?
For my friends, I'm gonna like look to you guys like, friends, what do you want? I'll buy the first round. What restaurant?
All right, so a round of wine for everyone.
No,
Sounds
no,
magnificent.
I'll take tea.
No, everyone can drink wine.
I'll take
tea
tea,
for
please.
Yana.
He's already kind of turned around and started fumbling about with some glasses and eventually pulls 2 bottles of wine and places them onto the table in front of you and says, "Oh, this should suffice for the few of you."
Oh, good. 2 bottles. This is a great night.
Well, I certainly think so.
How much is that going to be?
Oh, would you like to pay up your tab now?
Yes, otherwise I might forget.
All right, it's 2 silver bottles for carry the one of 4 silver pieces in total.
I'm gonna give him 5 silver.
Oh, thank you. If there's anything else I can do to make your stay more comfortable, please just ask.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna like grab the bottles and Zephyr, can you grab the glasses? Can I got the bottles?
Yes.
We'll go find our table by the window.
I'll grab the glasses.
I know you said I could only drink a drink every 2 hours, but I think
Oh.
if I sip slowly, it'll be okay.
Have as much as you want.
30 minutes in. Guys! Shots!
Party!
We're gonna have to take a carriage home. But do
You
they
think I could use this for a spell component?
We got this. Okay, anyways.
Yannick will sit down facing the door to see if what he's hoping will happens.
As the party sits here in almost silence throughout this kind of busy tavern, waiting as the time slowly ticks by.
Bickerstaff's gonna look around. Does he see Gru?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Looking over to the space where you saw Gru the previous night, there is another individual taking up that space. In a brief survey of the remainder of the room, you don't find Gru's face.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of keep an active nose out for familiar smells, as well as kind of scanning the environment, looking for black armbands.
All right. Roll me a perception check.
Ah, that's a natural 1, so that's a 6.
Zephyr, there are a number of interesting articles of clothing that could more than potentially be concealing a couple of armbands. As with the dwarves beneath the sewers had theirs hidden and tucked away, it's entirely possible that you are not entirely amongst friends. But you don't know for sure.
Does anybody look rowdy in this bar?
There does look to be one individual kind of off towards the side of the bar that looks to be a bit deeper into his drinks and is starting to get physical with some of his company, kind of the occasional shove, laughing, and as he does so, smacking his fellows on the back a little too hard. You're kind of just watching him as the hours start to tick by. He's getting a little bit more aggressive with his friends.
Well, if nothing else is happening, I'm gonna walk over to him. I'm gonna go to the barkeep, grab a couple pints, and I'll go set it next to him. What do you say we have a drink off?
And he kind of leans forward, squinting his eyes as you can see them kind of dancing around a little bit. I don't think you're big enough to keep up with me.
Why don't you try and find out?
But you got a fire in you.
Well, let's drink then.
Well, here's that then. Barkeep! Barkeep! We'll take 4 more rounds on this one. And the barkeep kind of looks over towards you.
I nod.
And he kind of leans behind and starts getting to work pouring a couple of mugs of ale as the two of you kind of down what you had left of your first drinks. All right. What's your name? What are you? Some kind of a snake?
A lizard, to be more precise, but you can call me whatever you want tonight, sweetheart.
All right, sweetheart. I think that'll do just nicely. So, sweetheart, what brings you here to the fine establishment of the Baylor's Retreat?
Oh, I'm just looking for a good time.
Oh, I bet you are. So, what can old Grigor do to be of more service to you than already, madam? At least, you know, find it best to get these sorts of things out and about before somebody finds themselves vomiting upon themselves in the corner of the room. Then it's a lot more messy.
Well, I'm more of a fan of pillow talk than anything.
Whoa, Cookie.
Seems like
Whoa.
the red blush of him being drunk grows a deeper shade of crimson as you speak this. Just slightly so. With your keen perception, though, you're able to pick up on it. So, is that so?
Oh, well, you can always find out later.
Well, all right. Let's hope you can handle your alcohol, then.
Oh, I can. And as I go to drink, I cast Enhance ability on myself.
All right.
Bear's Endurance, which is advantage on Constitution checks plus some
You
temper.
take the opportunity as he is slightly distracted by the barkeep coming over and laying down 8 pitchers in front of you, 4 in front of either of you. As you incant this upon yourself, and he looks back to you, never the wiser. And as he looks over, he says, all right, first brew, I don't think you're going to like very much, but it's to sort out the chum from the chaff. All right! And he kind of scooches forward, attempting to kind of on the table cheers you with the 2 mugs. And the pair of you go up. And I got a Constitution save from you,
Yeah.
Zephyr. And I believe that enhanced ability is going to help you a little bit.
Yep, that's a 19 for me.
19 for you. As you down it, it has a very sweet that immediately turns sour. And more sour and more sour. And you can see, looking over his way, like, that doesn't sit very well with whatever he had last. He's looking, he's feeling it. And he's been pretty deep in the cups all night, and this is starting to make it show. Fuck, let's wash that taste down. As he scoops
I slap him on the shoulder. Come on, man, you can do better than that.
Go ahead and roll me another Constitution check.
That's gonna be an 18.
18. He slams his mug down and sends a small crack across the bottom of his own glass. Not enough to break it completely, but just enough that you can still see that it is there. As he slams it back down, a much more refreshing taste of a more familiar kind of a brandy alcohol. Kind of burns and warms its way down, washing away and just kind of cleansing the palate in a way. As he downs it, he's yes, that's the stuff. All right, Missy. Suppose this is the last chance to not regret it. You can back out anytime you want. Nobody will judge you for it.
Oh, please. I haven't beaten by a
Put
man
on
yet.
a great show, but I think you're at your limit.
I can go all night, my friend.
All right, then. Number 3. And he goes and holds it up to you,
I take it.
and the two of you down the third drink.
20 total.
20 total. As a much more greeny, very kind of almost like a ground kale taste fills your mouth. Very surprising in this variety of beverages. But as you wash it down, he is over on the other side, and he is starting to openly fighting down whatever that concoction was, as he quickly reaches across the table with kind of no pleasantries whatsoever, and just attempts to drown himself with that 4th drink. And can I get a dexterity save from you, please?
Oh, shit.
As a projectile is rapidly headed your way.
12.
12. You narrowly kind of hold up what remains of the plate in front of you, the kind of placemat, to shield yourself from most of this vomit that just spatters up and around, and it is audibly off-putting. And as it stops, you kind of set the mat down with a slop as it does so, and he's just passed out on the other side of the table.
I'll reach into his pocket and grab enough coin to pay for the drinks.
All right.
And I'll look to the rest of the guys at the table. You all don't have a problem with this, do you?
And an open round of applause starts to go from some of the couple of friends who were sitting by him, taking a little too much of his physical comedy.
How many people are at the table? Like 2 others?
Like 3 people here.
What do you say, another round on him?
I think that's suitable, after all. Payments and prizes and reward and all that.
So I'll take I'll take a handful of coin out of his pocket, and I'll go up to the barkeep and say, that man made quite a mess, and I do believe he was supposed to be buying all those gentlemen a drink.
And the bartender shoots you a wink as he kind of brushes his beard back together as he kind of clips it underneath his own shirt for a brief moment. As he leans over, he says, kind of scooping the gold up, mentally kind of preparing himself as he grabs a couple of rags from underneath the table. He says, appreciated, just give me a minute. And he goes over and starts sopping up some of the muck.
When I see him puke, I'm gonna go and do prestidigitation.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, don't worry about it. My friend can handle it.
I'll do Cookie first. Like, Cookie, you got a spot on you right here. Oh, it's all over the floor over here too. Oh God.
As Phelan just goes through the process of eventually just scrubbing the entirety of the surface clean from the muck, as she can just kind of swoosh it about, squishing it and squishing it along this path of her prestidigitation out the door onto the street, effectively freeing it from anyone having to clean it up. And the bartender shoots you a approving nod, and it's not too long before a free beverage shows up in front of you, Faith.
I love this place.
I want to make sure I grab enough coin that I get a little extra out of the deal.
All right. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Oh, shit. Investigation. That's a 5.
All right.
He didn't have anything else to note on him, did he?
Just
feeling around.
He might, but it's kind of covered by the wet spots of his clothing that look to have started soaking up some of the vomit.
I'll keep my hands to myself.
And you kind of opt to avoid that.
Yeah.
Only for the smell.
I'll take it. And I'll just kind of give a rousing hurrah to the drunk man to the bar and say, "Here's one to the man who can't hold his drink," and try to get everyone to pitch in. Ah.
Well, let me performance check.
Oh, shit. I'm having fun. I'm having fun tonight. Hey, that's a 12.
12. You shout it out, and one guy on the other side of the room joins out the cheer and is quickly to kind of sheepishly lower his mug back down and keep the volume level much more appropriate.
At least he knows how to have fun. And I'll go back to my my table with everyone else.
As you sit back down, the party... Yannick's focus seems almost completely focused upon this door. Like, he's paying very little attention to what else is happening here. He's got his target. And much like a hunter's mark, he's got it in focus at this point in time.
My focus is my drinks.
Thank you, Phelan, for cleaning that up.
No, thank you. I got a free drink out of it. This is great. I love this place. We should come here more often.
And I'll, out of the 12 silver I have, I'll take it and put it in Phelan's hand and say, "Oh, he paid for our wine for the evening."
Oh, this is fantastic. This place. You said 12 silver?
I'll hand you the 5 silver to pay for
Okay.
your bottles.
I'm like, wait. What?
He
This
puts
is
12 silver under the table and 7 back.
Oh no, Bryn.
Oh, it's getting late for Bryn.
Still nothing at the door, huh?
As the hours are continuing to tick by, the crowd kind of changes out. After like about 2 hours, most of the faces are different from what was here earlier. There's still a couple who have waited throughout, and it gets a little more rowdy as the sun is nearing its set. And Yannick, go ahead and roll me a perception check. And like as the night is going by. Also, additionally, during this time, the party is effectively taking a short rest.
Yay!
So feel free to spend hit die as you would like, and regain any appropriate abilities from short rest.
And the crummy rolls are back. 4 total.
4 total. All right.
You know what? I'll get in on that hit die. 5 back.
Right.
Can I find... You know, after I'm done drinking, I'm gonna go find like a rat outside or something.
All right.
See if I
Gonna
can.
head into the back alleyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Be like, oh, I have to step outside real quick. A few too many to drink.
Go ahead and roll me either an animal handling or a nature check.
21. Animal handling.
21. Eventually, you start to make your way down in one of these alleyways and find a crack lower towards the ground that is a split in where some of the brickwork has fractured apart.
Mm.
And kind of waiting there for a moment or two, you kind of crouch down nearby, and eventually a tiny little nose starts to poke its way out from the hole, sniffing about, and eventually kind of creeps its way out into the alley, not seeing any sort of predator or the like as it steps out and views you. And then it slowly kind of makes its way closer, kind of skittering a little bit and sniffing and skittering and sniffing, and eventually comes up right by your boot.
So I'll let's see here. I'll cast animal friendship on it.
All right. As you cast this spell, a wave of arcane energy flows across this small little rodent's form. But you don't sense any sort of a connection.
Oh. Damn it!
Oh, Jesus, it's saved.
A natural 20 on the rat
Oh,
save.
okay. Well, if it's not spooked by it, I will ritual cast Speak with Animals, spending 10 minutes with
All
it.
right. It doesn't flee as you cast the spell. And eventually, after spending some time here in the back alleyway with it, you begin to pick up on some of its traits as you start to use your own druidic language and almost mimic as you start to communicate with this tiny beast.
I'm gonna just kind of talk to it, hand it a little, little piece of cheese and some bread and stuff, and say, "Little friend, I have a favor to ask of you, and there'll be more food for it when you come back.
Yes.
I need you to head to the citadel where all the guards are, and I need you to spy on the one in charge. She is very beautiful. In the eyes of a rat.
Where? Show me.
I will take the rat and show her.
All right. So Zephyr walks away from this locale. And effectively, if there's...
So how long has Zephyr been gone?
So far, about 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes.
And eventually that 15 minutes is going to creep closer to 30. And then 45. As Zephyr...
All right. As it's been like an hour, Bigger Staff will say, has anyone seen Zephyr?
Yes, she was drinking with that guy that's passed out.
Yes, that was about an hour ago.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna go check the alley, make sure she didn't pass out there.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna look at the bottle of wine and be like, it's really been an hour, because I was definitely supposed to drink this slower.
Bickerstaff will go check the alley.
All right, Bickerstaff, you walk out from the tavern and find an empty alleyway.
Oh no.
I'm gonna follow Bickerstaff out. Maybe she went back to the office. And I'm gonna like give her an exaggerated wink when I say office.
You stay here. I'll go check.
Okay. You twisted my arm, but I'll stay here.
Back
Go
to
back
my
inside
line.
and sit with Jonic. They
All
went back
right.
to the office. Whew. It's been a long day.
Young's frustrated.
It's okay. We can go back there too.
No, I want to ride this out as long as I can.
That's the spirit. Let's get another round for this man.
Jeez. I still have mine that I'm working on. I just gotta push the glass around.
You've had that one all night. You're doing it wrong.
It's a good thing Bryn didn't die today.
I know, I have enough money to spend. I don't know, honestly, he hasn't come back from Daldrick, so he might be dead.
So Zephyr, eventually you do make your way in front of the Citadel. And the small little rodent continues to chime out, kind of like, where? Who? Where? Who?
I will show you. Just stay here, and I'll kind of like put the rat in my pouch, just so it's not noticeable.
All right.
Kind of give it some food to try to just like keep it calm. I'll walk up to the secretary.
And Annette kind of meets your gaze slowly as it comes up from the book that she is in the process of writing within. Yes.
Is the field marshal in?
Yes. Do you have an appointment?
I never have an appointment. I wanted to bring her some dinner.
All right. Well, you can leave it with me, and I'll see that she gets it when she has time.
Can I please go in and see her?
Your friends have already been to see the field marshal today. How much of a time do you need to waste?
5 minutes?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Gosh, God.
I don't even know why you're over there, man.
Well, I don't know. I'm winging it.
This is a far-fetched idea at best.
Persuasion. That's 14.
I'll discuss it with her. Come back tomorrow, and I'll see what I can do.
But dinner will be cold.
Then you're more than welcome to leave it here.
Okay. So I'll grab a few of the steam buns that I have left over from breakfast and got them in a nice little napkin, and I'll put it up on there.
All right.
And I'll act like I dropped something, and I'll let the rat go, and I'll whisper to it, "It's through that door right there. Watch everything she does."
Okay. And it skitters across the floor space. Not being too noticeable as it kind of just keeps to the corners, kind of sniffing itself out, and then kind of you lose line of sight to it.
Well, Annette, thank you for your time, and you can have one of those steam buns if you want it.
Thank you, Zephyr.
Always a pleasure. And I'll make my way back out.
All right. Bickerstaff, you've come out to the alleyway and informed your party that Zephyr's not here, and then walk back out. Effectively, what would you like to do?
Bickerstaff's gonna go to the Phoenix Feather Inn.
All right.
Do I
Net.
find Zephyr there?
Going into the Phoenix Feather Inn, Phelan, something in the back of your mind triggers with an alarming ring.
No, I can set it to do it only people we don't know.
Did you?
Well, did
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I would have excluded our group.
Her brain would have went
good to know.
like haywire as we were walking through the door as we were leaving.
Oh my God, someone's here!
As your brain
Behind-
starts to feel that ringing sensation of a hangover already due to the
Oh,
mixture of
no.
Yes, I
concoctions
love
that
it.
you're
I love it.
imbibing upon as Bickerstaff enters the Phoenix Feather Inn.
She freaks
Drink
out.
more,
And it's empty
otherwise
in
your
there,
shiny
right?
is gonna stick.
It looks to be as empty as when you last left it.
God damn it, fail. Zephyr. Bickerstaff just kind of looks in the empty inn and he's just like, yep, she ran off. Shit.
I can run back pretty fast, so I wouldn't just be like walking back. I'd be moving back faster.
So you're sprinting through the streets?
Jogging.
All right.
Oh, well. I figure I'll just wait for them here. Bickerstaff's gonna just like go inside, or no, he's gonna go out, collect some firewood, go back inside, close the door, just start a fire, just kind of sit down by the fire.
He's got a nice book and a plush chair and a pipe.
I mean, you know, he doesn't feel like hanging out at the bar.
He's the angry grandpa. Like, damn kids, staying out all night.
So as he's making his way, Yannick and Balin. Some more time goes by after Bickerstaff has left, and after Phelan has recounted a number of the drinks that she has emptied in front of her. When Yannick, the door that you've been watching all this time kind of opens, and a smaller child steps in and kind of looks about for locking eyes with the bartender, making his way up towards the bar, and reaches into his satchel and slams something onto the bar up in front of him. And the barkeep kind of leans forward, and he pulls it from the kid's grasp. It looks to be some sort of a letter or a note or something. And then he kind of looks over to the kid, and he says, "Piss off!" You can hear him audibly shouting as he just kind of tosses the letter to the side. And the kid just sprints out of there, taking off running.
Silly kid isn't old enough to drink yet.
Yannick sees this and it piques his interest and will make his way over to the barkeep.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check as you're approaching the barkeep on the side of his silver whiskey.
What is it? 18 plus 2, 20 total.
20 total. As you're approaching the barkeep, your attention is drawn towards the floor, where kind of skimming for where he tossed that parchment he was given, and kind of almost lying right up against one of the corners of the bar itself. You can see it face up, the words PIG inscribed across the front of the surface, this kind of envelope of the letter. But as you approach the barkeep, he's quick to step up beside you. Yes, sir, another bottle of wine, is it?
Maybe I'll ask my friend. I would like a tea, please.
Tea. All right, that can be arranged. It will take a moment to warm the...
All right, as he goes to do that, then I'll reach to retrieve the note.
All right, roll me a sleight of hand check.
You can do it.
As he turns and starts to move a couple of things about the bar, filling a kettle with water and placing it over some sort of a small stove fire as it starts to warm and heat up. He then goes to a couple of cupboards and starts preparing a number of raw herbs and the like, and starts grinding them together in a little mortar and pestle, and places them into a small pouch that he ties off and places at the tip of the kettle. And
Would this be at advantage since his back was turned?
it is not going to be an advantage.
10.
I could be making
Ten.
really loud noises.
That's not bad.
As you kind of lean across the way and you get the tips of your fingers across the letter whenever he kind of shifts rapidly, rotating as he does so, kind of moving on his feet, it startles you a bit. You manage to clip the letter in the tips of your fingers. And as you pull back, you slam your head against the bottom of the bar.
Oh, hell.
Drop something.
I'll slide it into my pocket as I come up with 3 gold to gather his attention.
Oh. Missed that. Effectively handing the gold over, or?
Yes.
Okay. Much appreciated, sir. And that bottle of wine will be right over.
Thank you, sir.
Best night ever.
I'm gonna get trashed again.
All right, Yannick will make his way back to the table, and Phelan, we'll save this one for later. Let's retreat.
Oh. You bigger staff have hung out far too long.
All right, so we make our way out.
All right.
But lovely
And Zephyr-
Manfred is out tonight.
Zephyr, you can see half the party is now exiting the Baylor's retreat that you are approaching.
Phelan, Yannick.
And across the way, Bickerstaff is approaching from the other way.
I thought he was
What?
sitting.
No, I'm at the
Oh.
inn.
He's got firewood and he's inside all warm and
I still
toasty.
have Garrett's token moving around randomly on the GM layer, and I was like, there's a token there. That's got to be, I guess that's Bickerstaff. Nope, that was the last place I moved Garrett to. That's Bickerstaff.
I was like, I didn't leave the inn. I was
It's
like,
an
they're gonna come
elderly
in and I'm gonna
gentleman
be like,
for the briefest
passed
of
out in my
moments,
chair.
mistake for Bickerstaff, but as he gets closer, he doesn't grow taller in size with this shift of perspective, and you realize it's just an old man walking in the streets. Not your dear friend Bickerstaff.
Place is littered with them.
So I pick up the pace to catch up with Yannick and Phelan.
Cookie, you're supposed to be at the office. Oh, you're confused. It's this way.
Why was I supposed to be at the office?
The biggest staff said
Oh,
He went looking for you. Where did you go?
well, I had a delivery I had to do. And
Oh,
to be honest, I was...
Texas really picking up around these parts. I guess we're doing better here than old MistHaven.
A little
You need
bit.
to get your food card back.
I do. It was a high profile customer, but
That sounds fancy. How much
To
did
be
they
honest-
pay?
to be honest, the fish weren't biting tonight, so
Ooh, that's no good. I thought you said it was a delivery, though.
it was not a
You
good
don't
tip.
pay for delivery?
Not a good tip.
What rotten luck.
Yeah.
Zephyr, can you help me lead her back? She's all over the place.
You got another bottle of wine, though.
For later, please.
Is she wobbling pretty hard after this bottle of wine?
Assuming she's the one that finished off the first, second, and the third bottle the party
Oh,
was
sure.
given, in addition to the free drink she got, most likely, yes.
I should
I-
some.
I didn't drink anything.
Yeah, I just had the beers. I will pick Phelan up and carry her.
She has a drinking problem, guys. It's not her fault. She loves wine.
That's something else I need to teach you, Phelan, is how to hold your liquor better.
I'm holding it just fine.
Kind of jostle her a little bit.
Don't make me puke on you. I'm not just straight enough to do prestidigitation again. Who knows how it could end up? He burns squished face all over again.
She cast fireball.
Speaking of that, where is Bryn?
He was going to meet Daldrick and send Daldrick with news,
right.
but he hasn't come back yet. Bryn!
Shh. It's a good thing we have a guard with us, otherwise you might get another night in the cells.
He's not coming. Normally he comes when I call him.
He'll be home in the morning.
If not, he's dead, and then I'm going to be really out of luck, because I'm really starting to lose out on money here, and I haven't grown yet.
It'll be all right. He's a tough little guy.
You don't have to lie to me. I'm not that drunk.
So yeah, once we get to the inn, I'll just take her up to her room and just plop her on her bed. Come back downstairs.
Hi, Bickerstaff. Cookie wasn't at the office. We found her.
He like wakes up.
Like say this as I'm being carried up the stairs. Like, hi, here's Cookie.
I found her.
Bickerstaff will like stretch. Did you find anything?
Yeah, I found Cookie.
Not you.
You're upstairs.
Oh, I'm shunned.
Hopefully, Yannick will make his way over to the fireplace for light and inspect the letter.
All right, opening it up, you can see a brief message inscribed on the inside of it.
Seriously?
That might be where we end tonight's episode.
Oh, seriously? You see Yannick sigh. Screen black.
No.
What does it say?
You don't know.
What's in the letter? What's in the letter?
Oh,
How did you do
you're
that to
killing
us?
me. You're killing me.
We got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes.
Okay, so the parchment is kind of a faded yellow in color. The edges look to be just aged perfectly. There's a bit of a calligraphy going on
You're
here.
not gonna rip
Very
on this
fair.
note for 2 minutes, are you?
Since you're not gonna tell us that, and I'm in my room all alone, can I try and see through Bryn's vision, even though he's that far away? Like I can't command him or anything, but can I try and connect with him?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Disadvantage because I'm really drunk.
Sure, disadvantage because you're really drunk.
Oh, why are you doing that?
Self-imposed
That's
disappointment.
Poor, hey, you got
As
double
you take
digits.
a moment, kind of waiting for the room patiently to stop spinning. Eventually, you start to focus yourself and try to hone in on the senses of your familiar. Something hits you. You got to summon a familiar in order to see through its eyes. Uh-oh. That could only be.
That means he's dead.
That means Bryn is not presently summoned.
Fuck.
He's not? Oh, I thought she sent him to...
Good.
Fuck.
It is no longer summoned.
I knew he didn't like that flying rat.
I was gonna say he probably got ambushed by like imps or pseudo dragons or something.
Yeah, but he had an important letter that really should not be out in the public.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't
and
send
you decided
Bryn.
to do that. You guys have made some interesting decisions
guys
tonight. I'm not
did
gonna lie.
Bickerstaff, you gave me the note, watched me copy it down, and watched me give it to Bryn and send Bryn out. I what you get. God. We need to go see Doldrick right now, guys. I like run down the stairs. Guys, where's the find Doldrick?
Make a dexterity check. See if you fall down the stairs.
Plunk, 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 plunk.
Disadvantage.
Wait, I'm just curious. I'm
Hey,
okay, guys.
you can walk.
Oh,
She
God.
loses her step on about the third stair and just does that weird glide thing that you can sometimes manage to pull off, landing at the bottom completely surprised about what that stair surfing she just pulled off. With some sort of news she'd like to explain to the party at the top of next week, mayhaps.
Ah, that's the cliffhanger.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have news.
that's the cliffhanger.
Yannick has news. News for everyone.
I'm not telling anybody anything.
God. It's like we're waiting, like Ryan, just tell us.
That was a weird session.
It went a few places.
All we did was make more questions instead of finding answers.
Yeah, we didn't find a single answer that session, unless maybe. But like, yeah, we got nothing but more questions that session.
I had fun. I tied up a guy. I got drunk. I lost a friend, even though I thought I didn't kill him again, but apparently I did.
Could you really call him your friend?
Oh no, she's drunk. She's gonna resummon him, and he's gonna be completely misshapen again.
He really wouldn't trust you. He'd just be like, "No, you're just gonna get me killed."
Can you stop summoning me, please? Stop it!
For the love of God, woman! I am not a plaything.
I'm not a toy.
So when she summons him, he's literally like on another plane somewhere, right?
No, she actually literally summons a new one every time, technically.
He's like a clay construct thingy that I create.
It's just fine familiar is what she has.
Yeah.
I just imagine him being on another plane, just sitting down, getting on his
hanging
bed,
out,
getting ready.
Nice. Oh, here we go again.
Every time he dies, he goes back to that place and is just waiting for me to summon him again so I can fuck shit up again. Oh, what a hell. What a hell that would be. Poor Bryn.
It's like every time he goes back, he's just like, "Oh, thank God, I finally committed suicide for like the last time. I can stay here in peace and quiet." God, no, she's calling me back! No!
Oh my goodness.
Poor Bryn. He just... I really thought he could just fly alone.
Like, Ryan must just, like, really hate familiars, because he just, like, lets us slaughter him left and right. He's just like, "Oh, you have to die,
He's just waiting for me to, like, completely run out of resources.
It's so like, Leonard, Bryn, fuck all these familiars.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't name that rat.
Leonard most of the time.
I might have started the trend of killing Leonard. But how was I supposed to know he was on our team?
You see a flying monkey in a water cultist place. What do you know?
I mean, I guess it's better that I killed Leonard than if his actual character had come around the corner and I was just like, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, you would have killed Simos.
Because I easily could have killed him.
Oh yeah. See, that's what familiars are good for. They're the modern day 10-foot pole.
Right?
A little bit more expensive.
It ferrets out assassin monks that'll just kick the shit out of you.
And it was just the very last dungeon where the party was like, "Hey, Bryn, why don't you step on that tile? Is it safe? Step on that tile. Is it safe? How about that one? Is it safe?"
Pop.
Oh, is that what you guys did for the
keyboard?
Piano keyboard.
Yeah, we made Bryn step on every piano key to figure out the puzzle.
It worked.
It did work. And then you got him killed.
Surprising.
What a weird session.
I know.
Yeah, sorry about totally screwing up your idea there. Because, like, yeah, good idea. I'll go guard the back.
I was just like, no, I was like, you're the one in the uniform, dude.
Amanda's thought process behind that was I have a screaming baby and half the time I get interrupted, so if I go around the alleyway,
yeah,
I got some time.
Well, it's just like, because I was just like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom really quick before we go in. And then I get back, it's like, they're around the corner. I was like, wait, what happened?
Where did everyone go?
Oh, to be fair, we didn't actually say that everyone was going in.
I needed my credentials for this move to work. I needed Jonic to basically come in behind me going, sorry, guard business, you know, like...
Yeah,
well,
I think...
At first I didn't realize it was the same place that we had already gone in. It's like, oh wait, crap, this is the same damn shop.
Yeah. So I think next time we have to, like, collaboratively decide what we're doing when we go to a location. Because we just said we were going to go in there and bust some shit up. We didn't actually say we were going to have everyone walk in the door.
At the same time, it did lead to the moment of Phelan versus, what was it, Parnes.
That was bad.
All of that.
Dude, Parnes just got the shit kicked out of it.
She's the last action hero.
This way. I got this, guys. It was fun. It was fun.
I think of Phelan like Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean?
she's Johnny English. She's like, oh, it just happens to go right.
Erroneously succeeding miraculously somehow.
That's the perfect description of her.
She keeps failing upward.
Until people are around. She's like that person. She's like, I can turn invisible, just you can't look.
I'm invisible. Can you see me?
Oh my gosh. Alright, I gotta head out of here.
Adios, folks. Excellent.
Have a good night.
Good night.